Everybody who been supporting the channel, man. Fresh always. Yaya Kids. Shout out to Yaya Kids. And I got another brother, man. Definitely gotta shout him out. Yeah, we got some new members I gotta shout out. Salute to y'all. But yeah, we finna get to it, man. I'm waiting for everybody to tap in. We got some news on Chud the Builder. Then we got Chud the Builder. Then we got a couple more topics. I'm gonna run through it. Old boy said he gonna come back. I'm gonna see if he gonna, come back on this Democratic talk. But without further ado, y'all, let's do it, man. I'm gonna let y'all chomp, and I'm gonna open up the chat.
We're outside Chud the Builder's courthouse right now. The fate of the future of white civilization is here. Will we allow the court system to weaponize against us, to give us two-tiered treatment, or will we stand up as heritage Americans for Chud the
See, so now they finna get he finna get that support now. All the support coming.
Builder, who's been given a raw deal? He will wait in prison for the next few months until his court case, unless we bond him out. But the problem is, the bond has been set at $1.25 million. It's unprecedented for an attempt.
So he really trolling, trying to get a part of everything with this. But I really do think a lot of them finna bond that boy out. But watch how y'all see in this video. They gonna see how they let him out. People is trolling, trying to make it seem like they reviewed some cameras. Check this out.
Murder charge, which was self-defense. This is two-tier justice. We have to stand against it. Come here, Clarksville, 9 a.m.
You mean jail? These are the public speakers for these idiots. You mean jail? Then you had somebody who got kicked out of the courthouse. But I want to play this news clip first to really get y'all started.
Personality known as Chud the Builder is now back in court today up in Clarksville.
Dalton Etherly is facing several felony charges after a shooting outside the Montgomery County Courthouse last week. News 2's Maggie Weaver is live this morning with what we can expect to happen in today's bond hearing. And Maggie, you were there for last week's hearing as well. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mark and Nikel. That's right. I was here whenever Chud the Builder, Dalton Etherly, was walked into that courtroom. Now, today's hearing is expected to focus on whether Etherly will continue to be jailed under that estimated $1.25 million bond, or if a judge could change those conditions. Now, investigators do say that Etherly, known online as Chud the Builder, was involved in a shooting outside the Montgomery County Courthouse here last Wednesday. Authorities say both Etherly and another man were shot during this incident and taken for medical treatment. Now, court records do show that Etherly had been at the courthouse earlier that day for a separate civil debt appearance. Etherly is now charged with attempted criminal homicide, employing a firearm during a dangerous felony, aggravated assault, and reckless endangerment. Now, at his first court appearance last week, a judge cited the seriousness of these charges, public safety concerns, and the fact that the shooting happened outside a courthouse when...
So he was heard on the video on a phone call to y'all saying, man, I'll do whatever, calling Aiden Ross. And right after he did that, now we seeing all of these YT guys. Y'all finna see what another one is gonna say. And it's like now they on the campaign to try to get him out and get him free.
Setting that temporary bond amount. Now, court records do show that Etherly has pending cases in both Montgomery and Davidson counties. And at today's hearing, we're expecting to hear more about both those cases as that bond amount is set.
So then we get two updates. And I'm going to just run them back to back.
News 2's Maggie Weaver is in that courtroom right now, and she reports that so far they have heard from multiple witnesses. And according to an investigator, courthouse security cameras captured that incident roughly from 12 different camera angles. Now, so far, a ruling has not been made, but Maggie is following that for us.
I just got removed from Chud the Builder's court hearing, but I am here to say that it's probably safely a self-defense issue.
Now he looks Asian, right? And y'all know we just did the video talking about how Asian kind of like to align themselves, you know, with them people. Does he look Asian to y'all, or is that me? I don't know.
The other guy, Joshua Fox, definitely attacked Chud the Builder, and it's going to be a clear-cut case of self-defense. So any holding of him on bail is total bullshit, and he needs to be released. Chud did nothing wrong. He was right to defend himself. Josh Black was having a PTSD episode. He approached Chud first, and threatened his life. He said I was going to kill him.
Definitely Asian.
So that's that.
If you ever wish payday came sooner, this might actually help. There's a banking app called Current with a bunch of useful features. And one of the main ones that I feel like managing money is stressful to Tyson moved him into a space and in a place where he could have watched, but he wouldn't have been doing none of that, because once you're in there, like in that room in particular, you can't talk. So here's what I believe he did. I think dude is grifting like a lot of them do. And I'm going to explain why he's grifting, because Chud is actually smart but dumb at the same damn time. But I believe he's grifting. And we're going to call out another white grifter who can't even understand why he didn't hear or see what he heard. Check it out.
What's notable, of course, is what's not here. What's not here is any evidence of a racial slur being thrown.
See, and now I'm starting to think this is probably like, this definitely is a psyop. Y'all remember the feds came and seen him the day before, because their opinions is, I'm starting to hear everybody trying to line up on the same opinion now, and they may get that boy up.
By Dalton Etherly and Joshua Fox. Not only is there no evidence, there's not even a claim without evidence. I simply do not believe that if the prosecutor had evidence of Dalton throwing racial slurs at Joshua Fox that triggered this violent confrontation, that they would fail to include it in the affidavit. So I have to conclude they don't have such evidence. Now, could that change? Could suddenly a week from now or a month from now they come up with a cell phone video or a witness that says, yes, I heard Dalton saying, I guess that could happen. And of course, if the facts change, the legal analysis changes. But I simply don't believe the prosecutor has evidence of racial slurs, and they left it out. They're not saying it to the media. The same with any evidence that explicitly characterizes Dalton Etherly as the initial physical aggressor here. Not only is there no evidence, everything they cite is completely ambiguous. It's completely consistent with Joshua Fox being the initial aggressor, right? A physical altercation ensued. Like it spontaneously came into existence? They're prosecuting Dalton Etherly, and they're unable or unwilling to say he started the fight. So they're not willing or able to say a racial slur was thrown. They're not willing or able to say that Dalton Etherly was the initial aggressor here. They're not actually able or willing to say anything that's inconsistent with lawful self-defense.
Hey, race grifter. It's because there is no audio. So all the people who said that Mr. Fox said, I'm going to kill you, that wouldn't be on audio either. You see how that works? If there's no audio about what's not said, then there's no audio about what's not said from the other person as well. But we do have a nice little teeny tiny update, two of them real quick, and I think they're warranted. Breaking from a source at the bond hearing for Dalton Etherly, a.k.a. Chud the Builder, that was out at recess not long ago. Quick cliff notes. 7 shots fired. Not sure if it was 3 or 4 that went into Fox. Search of his vehicle, found plane tickets to Turkey and then Rome. Yeah. All happened in the courtyard. Looked like all within a 10-yard area for all the interactions. Fox was at court complex for child support case. No audio available at the moment. Dalton had the camera and selfie stick, so still believe there was a live stream that investigators haven't gotten yet. Dalton approached, walked around after initial discussion, still filming, walked by Fox again, and Fox got up. Verbal interaction. Chud switched selfie stick hands and reached in right pocket. Very clear bladed stance with what? hand in pocket before anything physical. Very clear video footage. Waiting to hear more. So here y'all go. Update, new evidence revealed in Chud the Builder bond hearing. Chud reached for his weapon before a physical altercation. Several shots were fired. Chud claims he was reaching for mace, but had no mace on him when he was arrested. Chud's bond reduced to $1 million. If he can make bond, he has strict conditions. GPS monitoring, surrendering all firearms, a gag order preventing Etherly or witnesses from discussing the case on social media or in interviews, and restrictions on
So he grabbed that gun. He grabbed the gun before. He was reaching for the gun before. So even anytime you reach for your gun, that's like threatening. So Chud in county jail with red Kool-Aid on his lips. Yeah, so that's what they saying they got him at. They saying, and somebody, a witness said that they seen him reach for the gun before.
Travel, including the surrender of his passport. Evidence found in Chud's truck and home, body armor, a rifle, shotgun ammunition, and suspected marijuana, along with a plane ticket to Istanbul, scheduled for when? May the 22nd. Another hearing is set for May the 26th. Then there's Moran Lames, and he gets on stream with academics, and one is disingenuous, creates new shit, but forgets what he said. So I'm going to play this for 1 minute, and then I'm about to destroy everybody who needs to be destroyed in this moment.
All right, would it
You
be fair to
saying
say
that you could brush it off is very different.
All right, let's go into a scenario. Okay, are black people adults and full-fledged members of society?
Absolutely.
So if they're adults and full-fledged members of society, right, that have autonomy, well, that also comes with responsibility. If you punch somebody for saying a word just because you're a black, that actually looks bad on the black race. Because I'll tell you this, if I went to a
Bro, I can't. I despise this Myron Gaines so much, bro. Oh my God. Like, man, we gotta. How do we? I just can't stand the man speaking. Period, bro. It's like them people don't even like Myron Gaines. He got kicked out. He tried to be so close to white people, but they don't even like you. And it's like
neighborhood and started throwing Roman salutes and saying to do, I pretty much won't have to worry about anything. They're not going to come up and punch me because they're exercising self-restraint because they're adults. So your argument is basically, hey, bro, just don't trigger because they don't have self-control and they're going to punch you in the face. That's basically what you're trying to say. Or I'm this or I'm that. You're a cop for that. Murtad, all these other that if they had told me this shit in person, I'll fucking punch them. Call me Murtad to my face, I'll fucking knock you out. Extremely disrespectful shit that they would never fucking say to me in person, ever. Because they know that it would be a warrant to knock them out right then and there.
I believe these people are some of the dumbest individuals to ever exist. They're literally trying to argue the point while escaping the point. See, it's not about the word. It's about the provocation. See, all these race baiters and all that shit, they're not even really race baiters. They don't give a shit about white people. This where Chud was at his most intelligent. He started a quote unquote a meme coin. So that those individuals who want to do the shit that he does but can't do it, they can pay him to do it. It's actually genius. Trump did it with his shit. And what Chud was going to do was going to run over to a whole nother country and basically say, hey, man, you know, shit. They chased me out the country. I can't be around them. He was going to blame a bunch of minority groups, and that's what it was going to be. Guaranteed. That's why he was putting his money in the meme coin shit and doing all of this stuff. And then the judge now blocking the money that he can't use is even more funnier because now y'all money is just sitting. Go get your refund. But I think Chud actually will make bond. I think something is going to happen that's going to allow him to make bond. But it's going to be even funnier because Chud never planned on staying. Chud broke the law. Chud had two other cases. One case which told him he wasn't even supposed to possess firearms. Now, all the bullshit about him having a bulletproof vest and a rifle and all that. Listen, if you own firearms and you don't got that, you're a kid. You're an actual child. Don't own firearms if you ain't gonna have no goddamn vest and no rifle. I'm sorry. The best thing for home defense is a shotgun.
So y'all see how they got some YT people trying to push the man to be innocent. They over here capping. OMV in the building, Levon in the building, Ames, well, Lynn, salute family. We got the whole fam in here. I ain't gonna say the whole fam. Missing a few. But yeah. Salute fam. But yeah, man. It was just an update on the case. Man. I don't know what they gonna do, but it looks like they had to see the video and they standing on this. But he do got a bond hearing that. They said it didn't go well. Funny you say that, Tania, because him and Seti Nash and Flacco just did they just both did an update on this. But Flacco a tether, but Seti, I think he from the States, but he still got a little suspect on his name. Fresh put Chud is a mark. It's hard to tell. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's definitely hard to tell. But they saying he cooked. Family, they saying he cooked. But now y'all know we've been going over them Democrats, and the Democrats been just heavy in my comment section. I be knowing, man. Yeah, you be knowing already, Tennille. You got me putting the man on blast. But yeah, family. Y'all been noticing all of them Democrats been coming into the comment section, man. What's going on? That's why Myron's country has an Ebola outbreak over there. Man, I can't stand Myron Gaines, bro. You know, out of all of the Sambos, he's the most annoying one, bro. I ain't lying. He's the most annoying one. They got Ebola over there? No, say it ain't so. I gotta play this clip. We're gonna go to the next clip, but say it ain't so. Y'all know we gotta call out. We gotta call out these. We gotta call out these politicians, man. We have to call out these politicians. And got one to call out. Y'all check this one out. Who we got in the building? I appreciate all y'all for tapping in. But check this out. This is what we got. Bro, Myron fresh, bro. Myron be having me. I be like, man, just watching the guy. I gotta give it Pink Book official, man. I gotta, Pink Book that shouted.
But over the weekend, some kids playing basketball on this court quickly took cover when a helicopter started flying low, eventually landing without anyone from the city understanding why. It turns out the executive director of Markham's Park decided she wanted her daughter's prom send-off to be so big, but the city contends she was negligent.
This is bad.
Markham police body cam shows the moment officers rushed to Softner Park for a helicopter behind the field house. They quickly talked to the pilot.
So is there like any registration information on this?
The chopper landed for a prom send-off for the park's executive director, Quintina Brown's daughter.
Was there any
communication
between the city and here about the aircraft?
I got it okay through the park, but I didn't just, what's going on with the city. So,
okay, so the park board okayed it?
Yes, our park board president right there.
Now look at this fool. This is what I'm talking about. You give positions and titles to the wrong people, and this is what you get. Quintina Brown. Quintina, you need to come down to the front of the class. We got another city girl here out of Crook County, Illinois, at the Markham Park District. She placed all the minors and everyone at this park in danger when she ordered a helicopter to land at the park. Get this. To send her daughter off to prom in this grand style, but super dangerous, where they landed without any authorization, just her own. On top of that, she stole money from them to pay for this helicopter. And she's running around acting like she did nothing wrong.
Whatever, I do what I want.
But listen to what the park board president tells the officer.
It's not a park district event. Yeah. It has nothing to do with the park district.
Yet the helicopter landed next to homes, not to mention clearly on park property.
This is just so stupid, so dangerous, so reckless. Not only did she endanger all those kids playing at the park, but that's a residential area. Look at all those houses around. Folks, this is really dangerous and just stupid. Who would do something like this? Oh yeah, Quintina Bimbo Brown. And then listen to her, up here lying with all that baby bop bimbo babble. She lied to the police and said the park president gave her the authorization to do this. And the president was like, no, this is not a park event. This mess Quintina got going on don't have nothing to do with the park. The president told authorities that she did not authorize any of this. So off rip, we already know Quintina Brown here is a fraud and a liar. She will look you right in the face and tell a whole lie.
There was never any communication.
The village manager says that's the biggest problem because safety of everyone in the park was compromised.
We would have put our residents on notice, right? I think first and foremost, we have to think safety first. We'd have sent out flyers.
But Brown on scene provided officers with this notice, signed by her to authorize the landing.
Y'all look at it. She said, please allow this letter to confirm that Quamaya Brown has been approved to allow Summer Skies to conduct a prom photo at our location. And she signed this herself. Look, it's her name and her signature.
Oh, the park district, they can't give authorization. At one point, police say Brown expected the helicopter to fly her daughter over the park, but officers quickly grounded that idea.
As of now, he cannot take the young lady on the prom thing. Okay.
She just taking her pictures.
Oh, she's just taking the pictures? Okay, so she's going by the park. Okay.
Ain't nobody upset about it.
She says she's just taking her pictures. Ain't nobody upset about it. Look at this mess she caused. The risk and liability that she created just for her daughter to take photos right in the sky that she couldn't even afford. Because just wait until they tell you how she paid for this.
But Markham City Attorney is upset.
Did the board approve it? Who paid for it?
Officers gave Brown and the pilot citations for disorderly conduct and landing on public property.
Landing at a park is kind of crazy.
Both the park district and the city would have been sued if something, God forbid, had happened.
Now, Brown's ticket is just under $200. Over the phone, I got a chance to talk to her. She says she didn't think that she needed to call anyone from the city. Now, I did ask directly, do you believe that there was a conflict of interest authorizing this helicopter to land here at the park for your own daughter? Brown says she didn't think it was a conflict of interest. As for the city, they are reviewing, specifically the legal team, reviewing to see whether or not they can tack on any more fines to Brown.
And this is why I said she's too dumb for this position. She is too incompetent if she can't look at this and recognize there was a conflict of interest. One, she didn't even have the authority to allow a helicopter to land at that park in the first place. That type of decision cannot be made at her level. But two, for her to say she didn't know writing this letter for her daughter and signing it herself was a conflict of interest, something is really wrong with her. Either she's super slow or she's just a super liar. In my opinion, she's a super scammer.
I like the pink book.
Let's talk about the backlash tonight in South suburban Markham after a helicopter was used for a student's prom photo shoot. Chopper landed in Rosner Park, not far from nearby homes, and the student involved, well, turns out she's the daughter of the park's executive director. NBC5's Natalie Martinez has more on the controversy now surrounding this prom send-off.
The city attorney says it's about safety and the misuse of funds. New documents filed in court Tuesday with the city of Markham and the Markham Park District, specifically pointing to the unpermitted landing and operation of a helicopter on Park District property near playgrounds and residential homes.
It never would be authorized in a residential neighborhood. are jeopardizing the public safety.
Citing a threat to residents and the public, the city attorney points to this incident on May 8th, caught on police body camera video. A Markham police officer saw a helicopter flying in an alarmingly low altitude near Resner Park Playground and Park District building on Richmond Avenue, landing near active basketball courts and causing children to flee the area, it says.
There were no kids outside.
And see, Quintina, this the problem I got with you. You a lie and the truth ain't in you. They had a bunch of kids on the basketball court alone. They thought the helicopter was crashing or something, so it startled them. But of course, she didn't care what was going on or about the safety of those minors because all she cared about was her own daughter and getting some fake pictures for them to post online. She didn't think about other people and their daughters and their sons out there. It was just all about her and her daughter. I mean, pulling off this prom trick, really a finesse they couldn't afford. But yeah, I told you, she can't be trusted. She's a liar.
The person behind it, the executive director of the Park District and her 17-year-old daughter.
She wanted to do a prom photo shoot.
Quintina Brown claims that she knew of no ordinance violated by the stunt. The city's zoning ordinance, according to the court docs, explicitly prohibits this type of vehicle in these spaces. It says you can't land something like that in a public space.
Well, that's something new to us.
The pilot, according to the filing, stated that his company was hired by Brown for an $800 prom photo shoot and short tour by Lansing-based Summer Skies. The contract identifies the Park District as the customer and payor. Why did you use that credit card?
I didn't. There was no misuse of funds at all.
Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn.
Now, for those wondering, I know that lady ain't sit up there and order this helicopter with the city's credit card. Well, stop wondering. That's exactly what this big dummy did. She ordered the helicopter.
I'm muted. My bad, family. You could have taken pictures at the airport. Family, this is crazy. She used the city credit card money. They gonna see she done been using the credit card for a lot of other stuff. She just like, what's that other lady name who moved down to Atlanta? She from the same city, from Chicago. Tiffany Henry. Told you we got goofy. We got goofies too. Yeah, that's some goofy stuff. That's embarrassing, fam. Yeah, something is off upstairs mentally with this one. Can y'all hear me now? Y'all should be able to hear me now with muted before. Yeah, something is off upstairs. I'm gonna let it play, but dang, with the city credit card.
And listed the Park District as the customer and the payer, then paid for the helicopter, the required deposit, with the city credit card. It's all documented by the helicopter company. And this fool got on the news. Look at her face. She got on there and told a straight up lie.
The contract identifies the Park District as the customer and payor. Why did you use that credit card?
I didn't. There was no misuse of funds at all. So I don't know where they got that from.
Was it the Park District credit card?
No, it was my card.
I really can't stand people like this. This is Clarissa Shields' level line. The type where they lie, they play dumb, they play slow, and play victim all at the same time. They rely on other people to somehow be dumber than them, dumb enough to believe their lies. Look at her.
The mayor has publicly called it reckless.
This is what happens when you have no oversight, no governance.
Officers issued citations to Brown and the pilot for disorderly conduct and unauthorized landing on public property. Now it goes in front of a judge this week.
Bro, y'all gotta think. Some of these politicians is like how they do with getting stupid rappers and making them rich. Like to be in some of these groups and to be in some of these, look at Kamala Harris. You gotta be slow to let somebody really be pimping you, and they're getting pimped by this. Oh, y'all can hear me now? Okay. That's what I'm saying. This is a form of y'all like she's slow. How she get in that position? That's what they do with our people. Like they're gonna get the slowest people that they can manipulate, and they're gonna put them in a position. You got to use it for something better. For real, she using them people credit card money, family, for a helicopter ride. The same thing do with the rappers. It's like the dumbest people they get, and they put them to the top. Give them some money. Yeah, they think the rules don't apply to them too. They like, yeah, I'm like a white man now. I'm like a white woman. But do y'all see the influx of they using our women? It's not like they getting a lot of, like you normally see a whole bunch of white men in politics. You rarely see the women. You see more of like they trying to put our women in there, and it seems like it's a scandal going on, another scandal swept away to the top. Let's let it play, man. Let's let it play.
Or next, in Markham, Natalie Martinez, NBC5 News.
There is split reaction about this prom helicopter stunt. Some say no one was harmed, so what's the problem? Others, including city leaders, insisting that the park director crossed the line for a photo op for her daughter. A photo shoot, at least the deposit we now know was charged with a credit card that taxpayers pay for. Less than a week after this helicopter landed at the Markham Park, catching many by surprise.
Bro, if she did this with the city credit card, man, y'all, they gonna research. Once they research that credit card, I'm telling you, if she felt comfortable enough to put the credit card on the credit card, man, she done went shopping. She done took some trips on the credit card. The city gonna find out, like, what the heck is this? I kind of hope this story was AI generated. Fam, if y'all think if she would do this with the credit card, imagine what else is on there she done charged. Fam. Yeah, because they give them access, positions like this. See, this is marketing too. See, they got to keep our black women hipped on this Democrat plane, so they got to see them in position and see them with power. That's what a lot of women be chasing, fam, that little power. They want to be, you know what I'm saying? They want that power. They want to feel like they're in control of something.
This prom stunt for the park director's daughter is now political. Here's what Quintina Brown told officers.
I got it okay through the park board. I didn't just, what's going on with the city.
Yet city leaders never authorized the landing in the public park where children were playing.
Did they say you can land a helicopter?
I have the landing permission. I can bring it over.
The pilot had a notice signed by the park director herself. The company later handed over this invoice to the city attorney. The receipt raises much bigger questions. The bill was for a minimum of $800 for an hour. At the bottom, there's a credit card number linked to Brown. She named Markham Parks as the company and even used the address of the field house and provided her signature on a taxpayer-funded credit card.
Websites your competitors don't want you to know, part 2. All you do is go to this website, and it lets you find out exactly how much.
Right, this ain't
The plot
right.
thickens, as they say.
The city attorney says there's no way Brown accidentally entered all that information. In fact, he spoke to the helicopter company.
They told me that the deposit was charged to the card, and they have not been successful in getting the remaining $800 off the card for whatever reason.
Using the Park District credit card either to pay or hold the reservation is why Markham's mayor says residents should be concerned.
Why wouldn't somebody question that?
In fact, the city started questioning spending at the Park District and its board in the fall of 2025.
How are you?
See another Tiffany Henyard. I'm telling you. But yeah, it's crazy that $800. They're bullshit. Yeah, but they're marketing heavy to black women, man. They marketing heavy to black women. They're marketing heavy to black men too, but to get power and positions, they marketing it to them.
CBS Chicago reported when Brown was first called on body cam, getting served with an injunction. Leaders allege Brown and the park board were not paying bills and left most parks with broken equipment and deplorable conditions.
Now look at that. She's not even keeping up with the park. The residents are paying all these taxes. You already know every time you get your property taxes, they just keep increasing the bill. It's the biggest scam in America. They had prices increase in this area in recent years. But Quintina Brown here, the director over the park, she can't seem to budget the finances. They're not paying the bills or keeping the park equipment safe for the children in the community, but she's using the park budget to pay for her daughter to have a prom helicopter ride and a photo shoot. You can't make this stuff up.
They've been landing helicopters in different ways over there.
And remember that invoice? There's a line which says every additional 6 minutes over the hour would be $80. We're told police grounded that chopper for at least 3 hours. Now the big question, who will pay for the extra minutes? Not to mention the original $800. Keep in mind, that contract is under the name of the Markham Park District. We did reach out to Brown. She did not get back to me tonight.
They need to put her straight in jail. So the fees for those extra 3 hours is about $2,400. That's $2,400 plus $800. A total of $3,200 that she signed off for the city to be responsible for because she named the city, not herself, as the customer and the payer. So she fraudulently went into contract with this company, representing the city in her role as director, holding the city responsible for her daughter's helicopter prom pictures. And you wonder why the park out there looking a mess. The community can't get what they need because if she's bold enough to steal funds for a prom picture, you already know y'all gotta audit her because she's definitely done more. Nah, this is not her first time stealing from the park.
No decisions made today in court during a hearing over a helicopter landing in a Markham park for prom send-off.
Man, me and Pink Book got the same mind. I ain't even know she said that, but you know I said the same thing. That's crazy. I don't have to shoot Pink Book.
The send-off earlier this month was for the daughter of the Markham Park District Executive Director, Quintina Brown. An invoice from the helicopter company for $800 an hour shows a credit card linked to Brown. She named Markham Parks as the company and even used the address of the field house. City leaders tell us they never authorized that helicopter landing in a public park. The city asked for a temporary restraining order to stop the spending. Today, the judge refused that order for now. A new status hearing will be set, and we'll continue to follow the story.
And look at what this Cook County judge did. They're the worst. They allow people like Quintina Brown and people like Tiffany Tahoe to run around and just do whatever. Why? Because they're also crooks. I told you about that one Cook County judge out of Chicago that stole over $1.2 million from her 96-year-old Tuskegee Airman uncle. $1.2 million. And she was a sitting judge doing this. So I'm telling you, the level of corruption is disturbing. Quintina Brown should be locked up, no doubt about it. She did all of this to try to stunt on Facebook. That's what this was about, stunting with these prom pictures on Facebook. Like, why would you need a helicopter for prom in the first place? They didn't even have helicopter money. They stole the deposit money from the city to pay for it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all trying to impress people and people ain't really work. Like, it's sad, man. That's what black representation gets you. I ain't gonna say that's what the boule representation, because yeah, we would have if they would have had one of our real ones up there, they would have been funneling money back to us, man. We would have been having bills, reparation bills, and all kind of stuff. She still running up. Man, they finna go into them files and they gonna figure out that she's been running it up, man. I'm telling you. When some of our women get into these positions and that money is involved, they go to running that card up. telling you. But check this out. Well, yeah, shout out to I'm gonna open up the chat. Let me open up the chat, man. We got on this Democrat plantation. You didn't get the alert, bro. You wanted to. We don't need no more dark faces in high places. Yeah, bro, that's what they do. They try to put put our faces up there, making us think they doing something, but they be controlling the people. At least change trash bags are more than law. Bruh, they be over the city, but they really getting the money. Sticky finger politician. It's like we don't even handle business like that. We don't even handle business like that. Yeah. Yeah, man, but we got that. We gonna get on some Democrat Republican talk. You know, we've been. It's been. I don't know who this lady May Holman. I think she got some association with you. Keep it techie. They been. I don't know what's going on, and I'm trying to get these people to really like y'all on my top.
Hold on 1 second, bro. I gotta put these headphones on. What's happening, man?
What's good? What's good, man? You still stepping, saying you independent, or you really gonna tell us you Democrat, man? What's up, bro?
Nah, I'm an independent, bro. But
Yeah, there you go with this cap, bro.
I ain't capping. I am an independent. I vote based on policy.
So
And
you
that's what I
vote
was
for
trying to explain
Republican?
to y'all. And that's what I was trying to explain to y'all in the chat. It just so happened that the policies fall under the Democratic Party that benefit black people. But I am an independent. I mean, you have to pick a side at the end of the day. If you want to get something out of politics, you have to pick a side.
But you never picked the Republican side, so you never. What are you talking?
Because the Republican side, all their policies don't help black people.
Right.
I mean,
So you're a
look.
Democrat, bro. You vote Democrat.
No, if well, that's the thing though. I support Republican policies though, because I'm a Second Amendment advocate. So I support what they're doing with the Second Amendment.
Right, but you supported Democrats your whole political career, just like me. We supported them. We don't know nobody else. The parents just put on there. I don't know nothing else. But what I'm saying is, you're a Democrat.
Okay, bro, you can say that. Whatever. I mean, okay,
I'm saying because
I
do you
lean
know
more
what,
I lean
bro?
more Democrat because the
Bro, but
policies
do you know?
that help me are more Democrat. But
But do
I
you know?
consider myself an independent.
Right, but do you know the definition of a Democrat shield? Do you know the definition of that?
A Democrat shield?
Yeah.
Well, I know that's two separate things.
Right, but do you know the definition of a Democrat shield? Like, what is a Democrat shield?
A Democrat shield,
Yeah, because
that's
you
something
said you're
totally
not.
different.
Yeah, but you
That's
always say that you're not a Democrat shield, but you don't even know what a Democrat shield is. You get what
how
I'm
do you
saying?
know I don't if you're not letting me answer what
Okay,
a
go
Democrat?
ahead.
I'm telling you it's two different things. That's
Okay,
two
go
different
ahead.
things. A shield is somebody that's getting paid to push the Democratic Party. That's what a shield is. It could be a Republican shield, it could be a Democratic shield. That's what a shield is. That's why I say it's two different definitions when it comes to shield versus a Democrat. A Democrat is someone that supports Democratic policies. A shield is someone that could be pushing anything. A shield could be someone that's pushing it could be a religion. You could be a Baptist shield. You could
Okay.
be a
No. I think you going off. So this is what a Democrat shield is. It's somebody that they perceive to be not a Democrat.
you
So
do
they
know a shit. You do know shield is a separate word, right?
I'm telling you on what we call it. We called you a Democrat shield, and you said no, I'm not. So I'm giving you the definition of what we feel like a Democrat shield is, because maybe you don't know what that is or what the I know from what you saying is not resonating. So let me
No,
explain.
it's resonating. I know what you mean. You putting shield onto Democrat. You basically saying I'm basically getting paid by somebody from the Democratic Party to push Democratic Democratic, I guess, just push this like I'm trying to get people to vote
Oh,
based on whatever they paying me to say. Like I'm like somebody paying me to say this shit.
it ain't even listen. It ain't even about paying you to say this. Listen to what I'm gonna say. What I feel what a Democrat shield is. Okay,
Okay.
a Democrat shield is someone who's gonna let you know that they're not a Democrat. Like you did. You didn't say that you're a Democrat, but they push for Democrat policies and they point people to the Democratic Party. Whether they're getting paid or not. Let's say you're not getting paid, you're just doing it because maybe you've been influenced. But that's what people feel what a Democrat shield is. Yeah, some of them can get paid, but if you're doing that, if you're gonna tell somebody I'm not a Democrat, but you're pointing them to vote Democrat, go to the Democrat Party, and all of your points is Democrat, you're a Democrat shield in our eyes.
But that's not what the definition means. No, but I get what you're saying. Okay, that's the way y'all interpreting it. But a shield is someone that's getting paid to push something. I'm not been getting paid, or nobody is
Bro,
influencing
it's
me to
people,
push
bro.
nothing on
Officer
nobody or
Tatum,
whatever.
check
You see
this
what I'm
out.
saying? I
Officer
know
Tatum,
he's a shield for the
Officer
Republican
Tatum said
Party.
he was doing it for free for them people. He
Yeah,
wasn't
he
getting paid.
was.
He was
Yeah,
doing
you're
stuff
right.
for free. So you
Yeah.
don't think that there are
But
people
he
that
actually is part of that party. He actually says he's on that side.
you were part of the Democrat Party. You voted for them consistently.
No, I haven't. I actually haven't.
You haven't voted for no Republican. You're not
I
on
voted
no.
for I actually voted for Bush
I
Jr.
don't know what's up with you, man. So what
And
you said?
the reason I voted for Bush because of government contracting. And this was during the Iraq war because of the government contracting that was happening during that time period. The policies that were coming out were helping people get these contracts, especially black. They had black people getting contracts under his policies during that time period
Right.
during the
So
Iraq war. So that's I voted
I mean,
for.
listen. Listen. You are a former. You military, right?
Yeah.
Yep. We let me let dog in here. You prior military. So can see how you could, because you were, because not all, because we got a lot of people who follow the channel, they still on code, they on code and they prior military. Can you see how some people, black people that's prior military, can get influenced by the system?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can see how people get influenced, but
You can see how people, like, just like the boot, like we talked about the boule, you can see how they can get influenced. A lot of our
mhm.
black people on my channel, like, they don't really have no connection and they understand that lineage is first. So when people come and they like Democrat or they put in a organization or this, their perception be different from ours. And we think it's because it's a lot of people that's not putting the lineage first and is messing up how they see things and how we should move out here. And that's what I feel when I'm hearing you. I feel like, bro, something got you influenced to where you don't put us first. It's like
No, I'm actually black first. That's the way I see it. And the reason I say that, because this is the thing. This is the thing with people like you and people that I see on your channel. Y'all don't do research. Y'all just look at videos like this. I've never seen you pull up congress.gov and look at any of the policies that are pushed by either the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. I've
Yeah.
never seen
So
you pull up
hold on.
congress.gov. I've never
Hold on, hold
seen
on, hold
you.
on,
I've
hold
never
on. Now
seen
I
you
gotta
talk
correct
about the
you. Hold on. Now I gotta
I've
correct
never
you.
seen
Hold on. I
you.
gotta
I
okay,
never
well
seen you
let me
pull up the
correct that.
voting records. I've never seen you
Hold
pull up
on.
voting records of any of these representatives. I've never seen you pull up
That's, hey, man,
any
listen. It
I've
ain't been
never
no.
seen y'all. I never seen y'all. Nah, let me finish, man. Y'all got to say. You got to say what you got to say. Let me say what I'm
It ain't true
saying.
what you saying, but go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Maybe I missed it then. Maybe I missed it because
You missed a lot. You missed a lot. If you saying I ain't bringing up no bills, but go ahead, Red. Go ahead, fam.
Nah, see, this is the thing, bro. This is what we tired of hearing, bro. We tired of hearing. What you need to understand is we ain't for Republicans either. We are for our own people, for our own lineage, and we realize that we've been fucked around by both of these parties. We don't like neither one of these parties. But the accountability right now is going to the Democratic Party because that's where we spend our money at. That's where we put our faith at. That's where we put our vote at. Those are the ones who come out and say, yes, we are for the black people. And our communities ain't got no better with them claiming to be are for us. And then what is it? 18% of the people that's for FBA in there. Most of them is immigrants in the first place that's in the positions. So what we figuring this shit out now. We ain't trying to hear that shit you talking about. We don't give a fuck about no Crown Act, about no representation, or none of that shit. We really trying to get something like everybody else, like your part, like the Democrat Party give everybody else. So the confusion about the shit is if you coming over here, we calling you a Democrat shield because you trying to shield them. Even if you ain't getting paid, you like a minion for their ass. For the people who is getting paid, you like a minion for them to come over here to us to tell us, well, you ain't looking into the Republican Party. Motherfucker, we've been looking into the Republican Party. We
I
know
ain't
they
coming
ain't.
over here to tell y'all to do anything. You do what you want to do.
Apparently you is. But the point is, nigga, we done did research. That's very disingenuous and disrespectful to come to some people.
Right. We gonna get to him on that. Yeah, bro. For you to say we don't do research, I gave you facts. Even when we talked, I gave you facts about other countries coming to our country getting resources. I brought up, I went on the Congress Act. I know how the Congress got the Congressional Congress Foundation, the Black Congressional Congress Foundation. And I went over the money that they making, the money that they funneling in. I went over a lot of that on this channel.
We also went with the Southern Poverty Center too. We've seen that they giving money to the KKK and to the Aryan Nation and shit too, helping
Yeah.
fuel that fire, keeping that shit going.
Yep.
Motherfuckers always wonder how them Aryan Nation motherfuckers always had an advantage on niggas in the pen. That's how, motherfucker, because they the ones funding their ass so they can continue
They're
the drama.
funding them. Ain't nobody
Doing
funding us. We
so
not getting.
instead of you coming to us telling us to look out for some motherfucking Republicans, how about you go on your side of the table and turn around and point your fingers back at the Democrats and say, what the fuck y'all doing? While we sit back and we point the fingers at everybody and say what the fuck they doing. See, you playing the game still.
I ain't playing no damn game, huh?
Is if you
You
could
saying
well,
we don't do our
understand this.
research. This what I'm
From this
saying.
day, from this
You
day
said,
forth, maybe you can understand.
If you believe that the Southern Poverty Center that's been working on behalf of black people all these years
bro, who been working on the behalf of black people? Bro, listen, that's the problem.
has been funding the
That's the
KKK
problem right there.
all this time.
Already in records. They
You
even
dumb,
admit
you're dumb as fuck.
Bro, that's the problem right there.
we dumb when they admitted out their own mouth that yes, they are funding them, but they was doing it to infiltrate. They already admitted that they did. Yes, it's true that they funded.
If that's the case, then the FBI should let out all the people that they've caught up on cases where they've paid informants to get black people caught up in jail, arrested and put up in jail. Because that's the way all these organizations work. They have to pay informants in order to find out who's doing stuff. there is plenty of organizations that do that to find out who's actually man, y'all.
Are
Okay.
you talking about you forgetting what the Democrat Party is?
You saying the feds don't do that? So the feds ain't and that ain't how they inform people.
Hell yes, whether they working for the Republicans and the Democrats, they gonna do some shit to fuck up our community. Yes, I completely agree with you. Your point is you still on this seesaw shit. You ain't got off the goddamn game. You still on that. We trying to tell you, bro. We don't like neither one of them. You steady getting offended like the Democrats is your bitch or something. And every time we speak about your bitch, then you gotta come try to.
It ain't even like that. It ain't even like that, bro. Because
it be sounding like that.
That's the thing. But that's the thing.
That's why we keep saying you a Democrat shield, because you keep trying to save these hoes. Let them bitches burn. Fuck all of them. That's what you not understanding, nigga. All of these.
It's not that I'm trying to save them. It's just that
you steady trying to play this game. Oh, well, they did this. They ain't did shit, fool. They got the appearance to show that they doing something for us. If the Democrat Party really gave a fuck about black folks, don't you think Chud would have been a number one target? Them niggas was trying to wait on Chud to kill one of us before he was gonna say something about Chud. This shit, that's politics. They know that motherfucker was out there running rapid, doing what he was doing, antagonizing people. They weren't gonna say a motherfucking word yet.
Right.
Don't you understand that?
Hey, hold on,
Don't
let
you
me ask you a question.
My fault, my fault, my God.
Techie, so basically, we got Aaron joining. I got you, Aaron. Techie, so I want to ask you a question about this because you saying you're not shilling, right? You said you not for no reparation. I mean, reparations, no vote. So can you explain to me? Everybody in our chat, we want tangibles. Why would we still go Democrat without getting any tangibles? Explain that, because we can't get over that. We don't know what to do. Like, that's a part that I don't think we'll ever get over.
All right, so you gotta play the game, bro. And what I mean by that is politics is
you want money in the market. The problem is
that's somebody TV.
Aaron, bro, turn the yeah.
Yo, what's
so
going on?
You gotta be in politics in order to get something done, bro. I mean, I look at it like this, bro, and I gave this analogy to somebody in one of the comments or whatever. It like we done all played at a basketball court. And let's say you got that one kid that owned the basketball or whatever, and he upset because nobody picked him or whatever. So he say, well, fuck it, I'm gonna take my ball and go home because nobody picked me to play, so nobody else can play. That's what the shit seemed like to me when you saying no check, no vote. You just taking your ball and going home so nobody else can play politics. I mean, it's stupid to me. It's like you basically saying you taking away
right, but
from the system, but you're not gonna get anything out of it, period, by taking away from the system. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, but listen. Listen, when they did the crime hate, I mean, when they did the hate bill for the Asian community, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to. They went through and they protest about that and they got their bill. If you look up anybody else that they asked for what they wanted and they got that, it happened like that. It didn't happen at like they didn't have to say, okay, I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna be playing in y'all and voting and voting and voting.
Now let me
Asians don't gotta vote Democrat. They gotta
let me respond to that. Let me respond to that. So that's why I made the statement about Congress.gov. And I'm sorry for being disrespectful because I didn't know you had looked at it or whatever. I'm sorry. I must have missed them episodes. But if you look on Congress.gov, we have pushed reparations. The Democrats have pushed reparations policies. And you know who blocked it? You know who blocked it? You know who blocked? Hold on, let me. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that bill that they had pushed, man, that bill is like 38 years old.
No, they
And
pushed it again, but I'm saying they pushed it again. They keep pushing
the
it.
thing
And
is, the only time they bring
all
up
I'm
a
saying is,
reparations bill is when it's time for election.
but all
And
I'm
the
saying
thing is,
is, but
all
all
you
I'm
hear the Democrats talking about is giving reparations
But all I'm
to
saying
immigrants.
is, no,
You hear them
no,
talking
this is
about
this is for specifically black people because it was for that. It was that black senator that had passed away. He the one that originally wrote that policy, and I
So
forget
you trying to tell
the
us that
woman.
they are
No, hold
fighting
on,
for
hold on.
reparations?
Let me
That's what you
finish.
telling us? Oh, go
Huh?
ahead. Go ahead. So
Oh,
are
let
you
me finish.
telling us?
So
Go ahead.
they put the bill in, but the people that shoot it down every single time is the racist Republican Party. It
But
has to get past both parties.
shut up. I'm
It
tired.
has to get past both parties. I
well,
mean,
let me ask you
nobody
something.
have an issue
Listen,
with
let me
getting the
let me
Asian
let
shit,
me let
Asian
me
stuff through. You see what
let
I'm
me
saying?
ask you something. Let me
Listen,
ask you something.
right now the
Hold on,
Republicans.
Red.
When
Hold
I
on,
was
Red. Go
where,
ahead, Aaron. Hold on, Red.
listen,
Go ahead.
where was the bill for the 1.7 billion that they just approved for these J6ers?
Oh, that
There
wasn't
was
no
no
bill.
bill.
Okay,
So
but
where was
that was a
let me ask
scam.
you something. Hold
That
on.
was a
Where
scam.
was the bill? Where was the bill for the $1.5 billion that they gave for illegal immigrants? There was none. And the
What bill
thing
they
about
gave?
it,
What bill they gave for them?
listen, if they want to approve something, they can approve it. The same way they
Exactly.
sent they sent $27 billion to Israel. There was, you know what I mean? It went through both houses, like
Not right.
in a flash.
Yeah, and I
But the
agree
thing,
with you.
listen,
I agree with you, but half of this country is racist. That's what I'm saying.
it
So
ain't
you
the
got to
point
get.
that it, listen,
I
the
get what
thing
you're
is,
saying. They
listen
gonna
to me.
agree. They gonna agree
Hey,
on that.
fans, hey, fans,
They gonna
hey,
agree on
fans,
that. They
hold
Hold
gonna.
on.
on,
Let
hold
them
on.
go. Hey,
Oh,
Aaron,
I was just.
Listen,
That was a back
you
and
just got
forth
finished. You've
conversation.
been talking for about half an hour.
I was
You know what I
responding
mean?
to what you
Listen, I
said.
just got on here. Let
Okay.
me just say what I gotta say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I thought it was a
saying, you
back
know
and
what I
forth.
mean?
My bad.
Listen to what I'm saying. You know what I mean? First of all, you saying that the Democrat, have policies, that you align with that benefits foundational Black Americans. And I've been watching the Democrats, throughout the country, not just in my state of Pennsylvania, but throughout the country. And all they advocating for is eliminating ICE, uh, basically giving reparations to immigrants and doing a bunch of stuff that's not beneficial to foundational Black Americans. And the thing about it, if anybody that's supporting illegal immigration or immigration period is undermining foundational Black Americans, because it's our community that they dumping these illegal immigrants in. Every democratic city, every democratic state, is failing. Whether it's crime, whether it's poverty, whether it's housing, it's failing. So therefore, what policies are you talking about that the Democrats are pushing that's beneficial to FBA? This is what I want to know.
None. There is none. He can't. He can't. There's no way he can name a policy. Go ahead, though, Techie. We asked you this before, and you gave us a jail reform.
Basically, all they trying to do is they just
Muted.
made, what was that,
You muted.
Louisiana? They just made it so that they're gonna make it criminal for you to be homeless in Louisiana. So let me give you one of the how would you say it, collateral damages of, these institutions, these prisons. Basically, you have skilled and unskilled labor being produced by these prisons, especially these private prisons. And now you're making it illegal to be homeless. And if you in order to avoid going to jail, then basically you have to pay. You have to, pay for you have to be able to pay for something, which, most people that's homeless is not going to be able to pay for. And so they're going to send them to jail, and that's going to increase the amount of jobs that's going to be available for unskilled and skilled laborers in the workforce, which is directly going to affect foundational Black Americans. So,
Yeah.
like a lot of the stuff that goes on that the Republicans is pushing, you don't see the Democrats pushing back on none of this stuff. And the reason why we're in the situation that we are is because they have basically lost their way. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that they're doing that benefits foundational Black Americans. From the
Right.
time when Biden was in office and CRT, they started with the CRT and it was a snowball effect. It went from eliminating CRT, and then right after they eliminated CRT, the first thing they did was started eliminating, Black history in school. And then, from there, then Trump get in office, and now they're eliminating Black people from workspaces. So,
Right.
the Democrat and the
Let's let
Republicans.
it's both. It's both. Let's let
Yeah,
them
both of them.
And I
explain.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree that that the Democrats they very slow on pushing policies, and they always trying to do stuff by the book. That's what their problem is. They always trying to do stuff by the book, and like they think that the Republican Party is gonna play by the rules, and they always
So,
run into issues dealing with that.
did you vote for Kamala Harris?
Yeah, yeah.
That's not even by the book. She wouldn't even they didn't even vote for her to get to that spot she was in. That's not technically by the book. They don't do shit by the book either. What are you talking about? That's that shield
Yeah, we
shit that
never elected Kamala Harris. We never elected
Which
her.
y'all voted for Trump?
No, I'm just saying, as a
Slick,
when I
like
was when I
what's the
was a
difference? So
Democrat, Kamala Harris was forced on us. I mean, we didn't vote for her. She was
yeah,
forced
I
on
know
us
she wasn't
because
because Biden
Biden
was.
wasn't
Yeah.
able to run. They put her in that position. But the thing is, she's not foundational Black American. And basically, she wasn't going to do nothing but whatever the hell they told her to do because she's goofy.
But she was a better option than Trump, though. That's all I was. That's the only reason I
When,
voted for her.
listen, better how? You
work
know what I
at
mean? When you got men going into females' bathrooms, and you got, basically a floodgate opening up at the borders, and then not only, like, somebody made
Do you
a
know she
state,
with a
somebody
white
said,
man?
listen, somebody said, yeah, she with a white man. Everybody that's in a high political office is with somebody white.
Right.
Katanji Brown Jackson, all these jokers. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
So
Byron
check it
Donalds,
out.
all of them.
You said
It's
she's
like
a
a
better option.
criteria.
Hold on. You said she's a better option because of Trump and he's white, right? That's why you said she's a better option.
I mean, Trump and the Epstein files, nigga. So I mean, what
And
the?
Kamala Harris is married to a white guy.
I don't care though. Is she still a better option than Trump, dog? Like,
How?
what's the problem? Like,
It's that
How?
you don't
When
see them
listen,
as
when
racist over there.
and
listen,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say. I forgot you said don't. I mean,
let,
you told
let me
me
let me make
last
one
time.
point.
Don't say
One point real
don't say
quick.
the N word. I'm sorry, bro. My
Let me
bad.
make one point real quick. We had, and during Biden administration, we had 16 million illegal immigrants coming to this country.
All
Now,
right,
our
but we
population is
also we
like
also
around
we also would have
45.
got.
Our population is around 45 to 50 million. So had Kamala got in office, then basically that 16 million would have been 32 million. Basically, it would have been almost tantamount to the amount of foundational Black Americans that's in this country now. You think that, we being, bombarded by, immigration problems now. Imagine with 16 more million immigrant people in this country, not to mention the strain that it would have put on the tax dollars. You see what's going on in California. You see what's going on in Chicago.
Now let me
You know
ask
what I mean? They closing down schools in Chicago and then turn around and then putting and making it a homeless shelter for illegal immigrants. They didn't even have money to pay their bills.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: where you getting that number from?
What
Because I
number?
saw a totally different number.
I'm,
It
I'm
wasn't 16 million.
listen.
It wasn't
16
16 million.
million.
Okay.
16 million. That was I got it from a reliable source.
Okay. I mean, that's I heard.
You see how you trying to defend? You see how you trying to defend
Not
it?
trying to defend it, bro. I'm just telling you what the stats are, bro.
You
So I mean,
sound like
that's
a
not
shill though. You might
okay,
not be a
bro.
Democrat shill, but you sound like a Democrat shill because you're trying to defend
Being
everything.
accurate. It's
You
called
try.
being accurate.
Well, I'm saying, give me some accuracy. Give
You're
me
not
some
being.
facts. When you
It's called
accurate,
being
you got
accurate.
facts. Give me some facts.
I don't know what the
You're not.
number is, but I know it wasn't
Gi-
no
I'm,
17
I'm,
million. That's the number. I remember hearing that number from I remember hearing that number from the I remember hearing that
You
number from the what?
you need to do some more research. You
You need to
coming
do
over here
some more
talking?
research because that sound like them same numbers that was coming from Brandon Tatum and all those right wing pundits. That's what I mean.
Dude,
Y'all saying the same shit
it don't matter
that
who
those
give it out.
racist people were saying. Like the racist people was talking about the Southern Poverty Law Center. You repeating that. You repeating the Southern Poverty Law Center. You repeating the
Dude,
17 million. That
hey,
sounds like the same talking points that Trump was pushing.
Jim Crow
All,
though.
all you sound like a Trump rally. Red, you
So
sound
you
like a Trump
saying?
rally.
So
No,
you
All
that's
you
just
saying
doing is
that's
I'm
black
saying
repeating.
you
people?
All you doing is
first of all,
repeating.
you deflecting because for one,
No,
I just
I'm
got
just
finished.
saying
For
though.
one,
I'm just saying
listen. For
though.
one, I just got finished speaking
Hold on,
about the
Aaron. Let
fact that
Red go. Hold on, Aaron. Aaron, let
yeah,
Red go. Red, go ahead, Red.
Man, I'm losing my damn voice, man.
listen,
How you
yeah,
losing your voice?
he needs to
Cause
lose. No,
I'm yelling.
he needs
I'm
to
always
lose it.
losing my voice.
Shut up, cause you saying a whole lot of nothing. That's all you've been over here doing.
That's
You
what you
got over
doing.
here and you told us that we didn't do research, so we hitting your ass with facts, with research that we know. Oh, school over there just gave you a whole class. You didn't hear none of it. Soon as you got a chance to hear something that you didn't like, all that man said, you heard 16 million and said, well, I don't think that number's all the way correct. Bitch ass nigga, you didn't hear everything else that man just told you, fool. Then you can't understand why we calling you a Democrat shield.
Hey,
Then
water. You
you
told
was
me
going
not. You told me last time not to cuss people out. I'm not. I'm not
Chill.
disrespecting
Stop
nobody.
being emotional, right? Just calm down, fam.
No, I didn't cuss that dude out. I mean, I'm not cussing no more because you told me last time not to cuss, bro. So tell this dude to
Just
chill
chill. Just do you ain't gotta
because
do emotional.
because I go fucking. I can go retort it too.
He
Know
running
what I'm
from his ass.
saying?
Hey, hold on, come on back over here and get this intellectual ass whooping that I've got for you. Listen, back to the topic since you didn't try to deflect like a goddamn woman did when you try to get him accountability. You just got the same damn Democratic talking points about as soon as we disagree with y'all, and here y'all go talking about Trump this and
about some
Trump that.
Trump.
Not
And the
just
thing
saying,
is,
my bad, let me not.
the thing is, I just got finished talking about how they eliminating all these black jobs under the Trump administration, but he gonna say I sound like I'm a Trump supporter. Now, how do that make sense? How do
I
that
didn't.
make
I
sense?
didn't say. I didn't say you sounded like a Trump supporter. I said you was repeating the stats that they
I
were
wasn't
saying on
listen.
their side.
I'm repeating the
That was the
stats that
stats
I
that was said
listen. That
over there.
I repeated the stats
Stop
that
That's
putting
all I
words
was
up.
saying.
I've learned.
It don't matter if Skip get the fucking facts or Shannon Sharp gave the fucking facts. Either way it go, nigga, facts is facts. What the fuck is you
Where your
talking about?
facts at? Where your
What?
facts at?
You acting like the Democrat
Where your
Party ain't
facts?
I'm talking. That shit blows my mind when you
I ain't
Democrats.
talking about you, fam. I'm talking about the bull, the Democratic shield, the
I know.
volunteer shield. He say he ain't getting paid, but he a volunteer shield.
And just to come out here and look and make an ass of yourself. You ain't as educated as you think you is, my boy.
Yeah, he ain't
I
as
definitely think
informed
you
as he
need to.
think he is either.
I think
Even
But
about the Democrats in the reparations. We already done our research on that. It's only like 18% of them that even supported in the party that is quote unquote black. We already done
and
that. It's more of the
yo,
Mexicans. It's actually more. It's like 23% of the Mexicans that's in there that actually support reparations. It's more of them than the black people that's in there that do. But see, you don't fucking know that because you ain't do no research.
And the thing is, anybody that have, any semblance of humanity, and wouldn't oppose a reparation, because there's nothing to be studied. I mean, basically, the history is what it is, and they know what it is.
Man, right, boy. Y'all was
Yeah,
going to the same spot where you was going. When we were saying about how the Republicans. What you was saying? Damn, I lost it. I lost what I was finna say. But you had came
But
right in.
yeah, my
What you was finna talk
but
about?
my thing is with this AOC and what's his name, the
Bernie
the
Sanders.
the the Timo Obama, they out there trying to get our youth, college students, to get out there and protest against them losing their seats. But the thing is, where was the protest, when we was losing our jobs? What was the protest, when they was stripping our education from schools? What was the protest, you know what I mean, when they gave a hate crime bill to the Asians, but the black people didn't get one? What was the protest? You know what I'm saying? So my
Oh,
thing is this, and then AOC, when that situation happened in California, where they was talking about the black child and quote on the live mic being racist, you know what I mean? She was defending that bullshit. You know what I mean? She was basically trying to justify doing a whole bunch of word salad and wasn't saying nothing in opposition of what was said. So therefore, she showed her true colors. She's another one, a fake, a phony, and then gonna try to use our people, what I mean, to boycott, cause they losing their seats. Fuck their seats. They wasn't doing that when they was in there.
for real. They shit gonna change for us whether them or the other party. That's what you. That's what our people need to realize and understand. And we'll
And
be better. We'll be stronger. We'll understand that we need each other. And if they ain't gonna do shit for us, we're gonna have to make these motherfuckers do it. Same
And
way
the
that
thing is, we
Yeah,
got to
that's
be on code, man, with our money,
yeah,
man.
that's
We got to basically, if you working, file tax exempt status, don't pay no fucking taxes. And we got to stop going out here buying fucking Jordan, buying the latest motherfucking Gucci and Louis and all this bullshit. Basically, put our money in some motherfucking stocks and fall the fuck back, or buy some fucking ammo, because basically it might come down to that. While these
and that's
motherfuckers out, while we out here shopping Louis and Gucci and shit, they fucking stocking up their ammo rack. So that's what we need to be on. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I agree with
Real
that.
talk.
I agree with that 100%. So I'm doing the same thing. But one thing I was gonna get to though was like,
Hey, hold on. Give me
oh
just a
my
second.
bad,
My
my
fault for
bad.
my fault for talking to you like that, bro. That was my
Nah,
fault.
you good, bro. I get it.
I
I know
just
I be getting passionate too, bro. I mean, it ain't no thing. And I'm
no, I love us, fool. That's the thing about it. I love us, fool, and I just hate to see somebody going against this shit. Like you can't go against this shit because I ain't going against you, my nigga. I got
And
your
that's the
best.
thing. I'm not going against y'all either, though. That's the thing. I guess I just see it slightly different. It's not like I'm against y'all in any way. I just see it slightly different. I just see it like I think I think not voting is gonna hurt us in the long run. You know what I'm saying? But I
Listen,
mean, I get it.
listen.
I get it.
Sometimes
Certain
you gotta take a step back to get a step ahead. And the thing is, we can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results unless we insane, and we ain't insane. You know what I
I
yeah,
know
mean? Our eyes is
I agree.
wide shut.
I agree.
you ain't never heard it's gonna get ugly before it get better. Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
we control this.
listen,
But we
if we
control
gotta
this.
if we gotta take the tangerine man for another 4 years, then hey, that's what it is. But at the end of the day, we know one thing and shit. We know that we better off with the enemy we know than the enemy we don't know. Because when they coming over here from these other countries, they coming over here with their anti-black hate, and they coming over here basically to replace us. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we can deal with the devil we know as opposed to the devil we don't know.
Oh yeah,
That's
well one thing I was gonna say though, and I get about that I don't support that LGBT stuff or
no, it
I
ain't
whatever
no.
know I don't either
with
because
the whole Kamala stuff. That's why I was gonna respond. Let me finish. Let me respond to
Go
you
ahead.
right fast
Go
with
ahead.
the Kamala stuff. So I don't think we would be in Iran right now. I don't think we would have all this tariff crap going on where inflation is going up, because inflation was actually going down at the end of Biden's
You
term.
don't remember what
You
Biden
see what
did
I'm
his
saying?
last 3 days? You don't remember what Biden did his last 3, 4 days? He something else was over there. Right before he left out, he something else was to Iran. That's
And not
not true.
only that,
At the
and
end of
not
the day,
only that, let,
nothing. Kamala already
Oh, he
said that she.
did? I
yeah.
didn't.
Listen, when it
Listen,
come down,
he the
with
one
nothing,
gave him 27 million. I mean
with nothing,
27 billion.
with nothing gonna stop these gas prices. With nothing gonna stop this hike. With nothing gonna stop this inflation. Kamala was gonna do it too, but at the
So hold
same
on,
time,
he bombed them or
He
see that.
gave them 27 billion dollars. He gave them military. He gave them military support, and whatever the hell they wanted to do, he basically he wasn't co-signing on it, but he wasn't doing anything to push back against it.
I could have sworn he shot a couple of them rockets. I could have sworn he shot 2 rockets at him. Check it. I know he either purchased them for him to get shot, or he sent some missiles up there to Iran right before he left, like 4 days before he left. At the end of the day, shit, Israel was run this whole shit. So when it come down to that, nah, they was gonna get what they wanted regardless. It wasn't gonna be no switching up. Now Trump doing different shit. He getting the ballroom. He want a lot of money for that shit. But that money would have just been allocated to give illegal migrants and shit like that. That's all
Yeah,
the difference. The
yeah,
same money was gonna get spent because they have a bigger objective than what we even thinking about. There's a one world currency that these motherfuckers really trying to get everybody on so they can have ultimate control. But see, you
that's what it
still
is.
playing this
They
fucking
trying to do
game.
that new
You
world order
still
shit.
you're playing
yeah.
this weak ass game. See, and you over here holding hands with the devil instead of looking at these niggas from across the street and making a deal with them, because that's what it comes down to. And I'd rather be sitting at the four crossroads making a deal with this bitch than sitting over here holding hands with this nigga. At least I know what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna be
And the
walking blind
and the
through this.
and
I
the, and
know
the thing is,
I
and the
hate this.
thing is, you know what I mean? He ain't smiling in our face and shit, pretending to like us. You know what I
No,
mean?
no, he's sitting down like, let's strike a deal, motherfucker. What you trying to do? What you ready to give? What you want to sacrifice, motherfucker? And the other one is like, you don't have to do nothing, but they gonna kill your they gonna kill your next generation. That's what they
And
on. We want
and and
abortions for
and,
black
and
people.
and the thing is, they want to strip Black history out of school. But here it is, you teaching kindergartners and first graders about sexuality and shit, homosexuality. And the thing is, and shit, like, when
Yeah, I
somebody
don't do
confused
that shit.
about their sexuality, that's a psychological condition. And basically that psychological condition should only be, addressed with somebody that have that condition, which is identity dysphoria. And the thing is, that's 1% of the population. So why is the 99% of the population being subjected to it? I remember when I was in the 10th grade, I didn't get no sex education until I was in the 10th grade. And even in the 10th grade, I was embarrassed to be, talking about that amongst my, colleagues and my peers. So imagine a 5-year old or a 6-year old learning about, homosexuality and the stuff that they putting in these books. And I mean, it's perverted. And the thing is, when Trump got elected, I wasn't disappointed because I felt like, the kids benefited
So
because I
so
knew
check
he wasn't with that bullshit.
so check this out, Touche. So think about this. They want our girls. They want them to have abortions through the roof, right? And then at the
Yeah,
same time, while they talking us into killing our babies, they calling it healthcare. They calling that shit healthcare. So while at
Yeah,
the same time when they preaching this shit to us, they sending in illegal immigrants into our neighborhoods, and then they can
yeah.
low cut pay them lower wages, and they gotta pay us full pay, so they can pay them. They basically slaving them. So
And the
basically, they
thing is,
basically
and the
slaving us.
thing is, they know that the immigrants ain't gonna push back because they can always send them somewhere. They can't
Yeah,
send us nowhere.
they happy
You
with
know what
getting
I'm
what they
saying?
get because they get $4 a week in certain places. So they happy with getting, you know what I'm saying, $5 below
yeah.
the real wage. So, you know what I'm
Listen,
saying?
hey,
That's
hey fam,
undercutting.
I was doing independent contracting, right? I was making $1,300 a week in my car driving for 8 hours. You know what I mean? I was driving throughout the tri-state of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, mostly upstate Pennsylvania, you know what I'm saying? And I was making 1,300 a week. Next thing you know, they hired all these Indians and these Africans, and we delivering medical pharmaceuticals and medical supplies. So the thing is, like, if I had a delivery going to the Laurel Center, which was like, I would get a $47 stat, because if I delivered to the center, the common wasn't on Laurel. It was the Laurel Center and the Laurel Common. So the Laurel Center, was my delivery. But if they had something going to the common, I would get a $47 stat. And basically, once they start hiring all these immigrants, they said, we just gonna pay y'all one stat, and then every other stat after that would be like $7. So these guys, these Africans and these Indians, going to York, Pennsylvania, Lancaster, like, I'm talking about 70, 80-mile stretches, for $7. And basically, so in order to make the same 1,300 I made in 8 hours, it would have took me like 18 hours. And I was like, man, I'm out of here. I had to leave it. It was like they just killed they killed killed the earning potential, because they was willing to work for crumbs. And that was I left independent contracting in 2013, from 2006 to 2013, but that was then. So you can imagine.
So that's all we trying to say, bro. We just trying to tell you that these motherfuckers ain't your friends either. They actually worse because they smart. Malcolm X told you about these niggas a long time ago. If you did your
Yeah,
research,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep fucking with you about that research word, because you got
And
a
I
lot to learn, my brother. But
and I agree. No, and I agree. I don't 100% trust them as well. And that's why I all right. And this is why I say you just gotta stay involved in it, because you can vote in
no, the
no,
fuck
we
you
can't
don't.
listen.
Hold on, don't you see
Nobody
all
getting a
right,
free
never
that?
ride.
mind.
The
Never
Democrats
mind.
and
No, no, no.
Republicans, nobody getting a free ride. You know
Yeah,
what I
Yeah.
mean? Cut the
Red, go
check.
ahead. Hold on, let Red go. Y'all one at a time. One at a time. Red, we got Aaron after you. Go ahead, Red.
The Thomas Massey dude, he was a senator or a congressman or something for a long time. That motherfucker spoke up against Israel. That motherfucker lost to somebody that looked like he drove a Ford pickup truck. They split 15, $16 million or $30 million behind that man. He's a nobody. They put who they want to put in. We
The thing
man,
is, they want to
that's why
put anybody in there that's not FBA. They want to put a bunch of immigrants. Look at Mondani. Look at
yeah,
basically all the people that you see that's in these positions are either immigrants, or they immigrants. You know what I
we
mean?
have
For the
to get
most part,
our own
that's all our
party.
politicians.
We have to get our own party. We have to show we have to show these motherfuckers. See, because the thing
Yeah,
about it, the reason why we be trying to explain the Republican side is because it's like we ain't never even did shit for the Republican Party, so we ain't even got no reason to go over there and ask them for shit. If I
yeah.
shop at Arby's Bank, I ain't got a reason to be coming to Bank of America asking for a motherfucking thing. Because my
But
money
guess
ain't in
what?
Bank of America. My money is in Arby's Bank. I can't get mad at Bank of America because I don't bank with them. We bank
Yeah,
with the
exactly.
Democrat Party for
Yep.
right now. So as of right
Yeah,
now, we
exactly.
can't even give them a full footing because the same way, basically, it's like, why should we care about them? They ain't gonna vote for us anyway. So let's focus on who we need to focus on.
But
You see,
but guess how we gonna get? But guess how we gonna get their attention though? Guess
let me
how we
finish
gonna
it.
get the
I
Republicans'
don't like
attention?
Trump. I don't
When we
like
stop,
Trump.
listen, when we
But
stop
guess what?
stimulating the economy, the Republicans gonna start paying attention. You know what I'm
Hold on,
saying?
let
Stop
me tell
stimulating the economy.
let me tell the Democrat this. I don't like Trump, but what Trump is showing us that I can do whatever the fuck I want to do for my
Yep,
people. If you fuck with me,
yep.
you so y'all J6ers, y'all did that shit for me, bitch. I'm finna ride with you motherfuckers till the wheel fall off because I fuck with everybody who fuck with me. So at the end of the day, that's how we wish Barack Obama would have been. We wish Barack
And
Obama would have been like Trump on some nigga
Hold
shit.
on,
Like,
Aaron.
nah, I'm
Hold on. Let him go. Let
passing
him go. Hold on.
I'm passing everything for my niggas. They had the House, they had the Senate, they had the president. He could
yep,
have did what Trump could have did, and he could have did that for us. but he didn't. So at the same time, do I like Trump? Hell no. But Trump doing what Trump is doing for his people who fuck with him. I
And he
don't like
uncompromising.
that. And
And
that's what we
that's
do.
the problem with the
What's that woman
Democrats.
in
They
Milwaukee?
come in
Hold on,
there.
hold on. Look, what's that woman in Milwaukee? She got that 30 million. They on her ass. She high now, but she did everything for them Somalians because she from Somalia. She do everything for them. When
Who
Kamala got in,
Priscilla?
yeah, whoever I can't
No,
remember
you
her
talking
name.
Ilhan
about
Omar.
Ilhan Omar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead.
she did everything for her people. When Kamala got in, Kamala was doing shit for them Indian people while her little time in vice presidency, while she was sitting back there. She was doing shit for her people. All of these
Look,
people do shit for their people.
listen, Kamala and the one that's campaigning for the illegals to get reparations. They was on the Asian Asian caucus, pushing for them to get that crime bill. So yeah, they do for their people. And just like the Hispanics, like AOC, what I mean? She's doing for her people. And she's trying to use our people so that basically, when they do get if they do get them seats back, what I mean, they ain't gonna do nothing but advocate for her people. You know what I mean? I have not in the last I haven't seen the Democrats say anything about black people unless it was for our vote. That was it.
Well,
They are not trying to do anything for black people.
they actually
Except
pushing for the
except unalivers.
they
Except
They
actually
pushing
except
push
for what?
except
they actually
unalivers.
push. Oh, I'm sorry.
They pushing for what?
They pushing for the it's a voting rights protection
Oh,
bill that
They
they pushing.
check this out. Anything
they
that they ever put, if we can pull that stuff up and talk about it, it doesn't compare to what these other cultures want when they get what they want. They
No,
get
I got
exactly
you.
what they need and what they want. It's like we gotta run around and we talking about stuff that ain't even that serious. We
No,
talking
it's
about
supposed to protect against that what they doing with the with Section 2, how they got rid of Section 2, Section 5, and all that
About
stuff.
gerrymandering. The
and the
Democrats
Yeah,
thing,
is
but listen,
how
the
you
thing is, we can still vote.
but that don't
We
just have
still
that
have the
don't.
right to vote. It don't have nothing to do with our vote. All it have to do with is how they section out their districting. And the thing
it's really
is,
gonna make it work harder to get
and
our
the
vote.
and the problem is that the Democrats haven't been doing a good job. I live in Philadelphia, and where I live I live in University City, and basically, this is like a high uh, income district. And the thing is, I have, I say about seven, you know, I say seven stores in like a 5 block radius, all immigrants. You know what I mean? It's either Arabs, Dominicans, and only black store in my neighborhood. Like I'm not too far from the avenue, but it's only black store in the neighborhood is an African store. And then come to find out, they gave them a $40 million grant for Africans to come here and open up businesses where they didn't even have to pay the grants back. So it's some bullshit.
yeah, that's some bullshit right there.
It's
And
some
all you
bullshit.
is a
Same
fucking
thing.
voters. We ain't trying to hear that shit. Hey, y'all remember what was that? Was that Harlem Nights? When they were shooting the big guns, he had that little pop, pop. Don't shoot that little motherfucker no more. Nigga, don't shoot that shit no more. That little ass gun. Who shoot rockets over here?
Uh,
Yeah, I mean they did have a bunch of stuff out there for us, but we weren't really taking advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? Like especially like for government contracts. And for black women, it was grants out there for them to start businesses and all that stuff. So I mean,
Yeah.
and
So they
see,
give us little small
and
ass
that's the
grants, but
no, it's
that's
not
the
small. It wasn't small. It
hold on,
wasn't
but
small.
hold on, but when the
listen
immigrants come over here and they get them a beauty supply store, then they get funded by the fucking government.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
funding. No, I'm talking about the funding. It was
Listen,
funding for that.
It's like
listen. I
80%
have
of
my EIN. I have my EIN, and I done applied for several business loans. And the thing is, they wasn't trying to give me nothing. And the only loan that I did get was like $10,000. What the fuck you gonna do with 10,000?
Oh yeah, that ain't shit. I
You
get you.
know what I'm saying? And the thing is, these foreigners come over here, man. They haven't so much as bought a fucking postal stamp. And the thing is, they're opening up a business. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, they got another business, and they can get it tax free for 7 years. And then after they 7 years, instead of paying taxes, they sell it to another, immigrant, and they just keep doing the same shit. So that money is not it's not stimulating the economy. And then the thing is, they're not hiring, people from the community. They're hiring their own people.
Yeah, you got this whole, oh, we just work hard and we could get it. Motherfucker, the
Yeah.
government is giving it to these people. That's how they got
And
these gas. That's how all the immigrants got the gas stations, nigga. Don't they could
and you
reallocate them to let
and
us get in. They don't want us to, because they know the
and the
money
thing
gonna
is,
come to our
and,
neighborhood. They don't want our money to do that. But they
and,
give it to immigrants because they know the immigrants gonna send their money out. They ain't gonna, or they gonna keep it. They ain't gotta
they give it.
recirculate it to nobody.
Listen, listen. They give it to the immigrants because they don't want black people to have nothing. They use immigrants as a buffer. They use our women as a buffer. They use anything to suppress us as a people. And the thing is, the sooner you see that shit, the sooner you'll realize this shit is orchestrated. It's not coincidence. You know what I
No,
mean?
I mean
This shit is orchestrated.
I get what y'all saying, bro. But I know a lot of people in the DMV area that had government contract jobs that they got because they were either veterans or I'm talking about black people. They got they got government contract jobs. They got preference because they black, uh, women. Um, what else? It was like a whole bunch of like programs out there for minorities that
Uh,
But
you
that's
could
the
take
that's the
advantage
trick
of. I'm
game.
serious. I'm
That's it.
okay.
serious.
Listen,
Well, let me say,
listen.
hold on,
But I mean, I hear
school. You
you.
been easing the mic. You been easing the mic out my head for the longest. Hold on now, school. Now look, you already fucked up when you said minorities. That does not mean foundation of Black America.
Bro,
Exactly.
I'm
It's
talking
not,
about black people. That I'm telling you minorities,
Listen,
but I'm talking
listen.
about black people.
We are not no
my,
minority. We're a
Okay,
global
bro.
majority.
All right,
if you
bro. Whatever, man. I'm talking about.
We're a
I mean,
global majority.
I'm talking about in this country. I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, bro. I'm not.
okay, so you were
Listen,
talking like DEI. So you talking
listen.
about DEI.
Do not
So you talking
do
about
not
DEI,
put a
right?
negative prefix on your name
Do you
on your being.
listen?
You know what
Listen,
I'm
it sounds like
saying?
you talking
Basically, we
about
gotta
DEI.
eliminate those. We gotta eliminate those terms. We're not people of color.
But
We're not
yeah, I get it. We the
minorities.
majority.
You know
Yeah,
what I
you're
mean?
right.
We are
I
not.
get it.
We are not the minorities. We are
Hey,
fucking FBAs, Foundational Black American. We the indigenous.
Yep.
We
When
hold
they
might
on.
be fucking. We might be the majority. They've been lying about. We've been 13% of the population since 19 fucking 80. Come on, man,
Hey,
stop it.
hold on, school. Look, this is what I'm trying to say, bro. When damn it, you done made me forget what I had to say, school. Shit. Nah, damn, I forgot what I was. Go ahead, then, school. You didn't make me forget what I was gonna say. Hey,
No, I'm saying they've been screaming 13% of the population, man, since 1980. How long we gonna be 13%? Come on, man, stop it. I don't
We actually
believe nothing these
14 now.
motherfuckers say.
no, this is what I was gonna say. You sitting? Okay, listen. When you explain Democrat policies to me, this is what it sounds. It sounds like a DEI program, right? And if you
Listen,
did your research
DEI,
on
we
DEI,
represented 5% of DEI. DEI
goddamn,
went to white
no
women,
bullshit.
homosexual white men.
Yeah, the nigga, that was my point. God damn, school, calm down. I got you. we going through the same way. I'm telling you, I got you. But yeah, bro, like that's what I'm trying to say, man. Every time the Democrats give us a program, for some fucking reason, we still end up getting 10% or under the benefits of that program. 90% of the
Yeah, it's
proceeds
a trick
going
bag.
to they going to immigrants. They ain't going to us. So every time that you bring out
I'm gonna tell you
something that
why.
they did for us, no, it ain't no. Let me tell you why. It's because that's how the fuck they want it. That's why. It ain't.
Yeah,
It ain't.
Yeah, and that's
they
and
did.
let me tell you why though. Let me tell you
I don't
why
want
though. Let me tell you
It
the
ain't
reason why
good
behind it.
because that's how they wanted it.
You finna do that. You finna do that Democrat shit. And you finna
No, I'm
blame.
not finna do the Democratic
You finna
shit.
blame the black people for why come our
No,
program.
I'm not finna blame black people. See, you don't even know what I'm finna say.
I mean, I'm you a Democrat shield, so you
No,
only got about 5
no,
different
that's
days.
not even what I was going to say. That's not even what I was going to say. Let me tell you exactly why.
Okay,
The
so why are
reason,
we only getting 5%
the reason,
out of the DEI program?
the reason, the
Somehow it
reason,
gotta be
the
our fault,
reason
right?
why, the reason why is because when they put those policies in place, the racist people in this country
Oh my
figured out a
God.
way. No, let me finish. Let me just finish, bro. They figured out a way to get around it by using white women as a minority to hire them in those positions versus hiring us.
So why come them racist
Because
people?
they're a minority as well. They
Why them
No, they
racist
not.
yes, they
That's
Hold on.
are.
So
bullshit.
But
White
what I'm
why
women is
saying though,
not no minority.
that's
wait. So why
what
come them racist
what I'm
people? Why come
saying
them
is what I'm saying is they were part
Hold
of
on. Why
that.
come them same? Why
They
come
They
they
them same?
categorize them as minorities, but they're
that's what
not
I'm
no minority.
saying. Well,
Why
that's
come
what
them
I'm
same
saying.
people?
That's what I'm
Why come
saying.
why come the illegal immigrants still getting their bag and the same racist people don't want them to get their shit either? Why come they get to get it? How come they ain't found a way to loophole that shit and stop that shit? Trump is been sending
That's
an
because
order.
they that's because those rich that's
You
because
telling me
that's
if you
because
telling
those
me
let me tell you why. Because let me
hold
tell
on,
you
fam.
why.
Hold on.
Let me tell you
So you
why.
telling
Because
me
those rich
you ain't let me finish my thought.
organizations,
You ain't let me
those
finish
rich or
my thought.
those rich organizations love free labor. They
No,
love
it ain't
cheap
that.
labor.
Listen, the
Yeah,
thing
so
is, like I said,
nobody in this
listen,
country right now is gonna be going out there picking sweet potatoes out the fucking field. Nobody
listen.
in this
It's
country
not.
gonna be out there
Yes,
doing
the
that for
fuck.
$10 an
All right,
hour.
can I say something real quick? Let me just say something real
Pay
quick.
more than $10,
All right,
bro.
now
ten
tell me
dollars
The
a
legal
now
day. I
immigrants
now
are
mean,
doing
ten
hold up.
dollars a
Let
day.
me
I
say
mean,
hold up. Let me say something real quick. You know, he trying to put it off on the Republicans, like some
no,
rich
I'm not
people.
trying to put it
Cause,
out on
'cause
Republicans. I'm putting it
basically,
on. I'm sorry.
listen,
Go ahead. I'm
listen,
sorry. Let me
listen,
mute. My
listen.
bad.
Tell me, how do rich people benefit from illegal immigrants getting $200 on a fucking debit card every motherfucking month? You know what I mean? Just to sit home because they're afraid that because ICE is roaming around and they're not able to work. So therefore, we're gonna give them $200 a month. I mean, $200 a week, or 200, or
Oh,
something
I'm
to that
not saying
effect
that.
in California. This
Oh,
was
I
in
wasn't saying
California.
that. I wasn't even
No, no,
going
no,
there. I get
no,
what
no.
you're saying now.
But what I'm listen. The point
I'm
I'm
not even
making.
going there.
Listen. The
Uh-huh.
point I'm making. It's not a rich person. It's not a rich person that's orchestrating this shit. Basically, we got we got wings of the same fucking bird. The
No, and
liberal
I get
fucking
it.
listen.
And
The
that's
liberal Democrats want to codify these motherfucking immigrants. You know what I mean?
and I
Because
get it.
basically they need a voting base. And the thing is,
Nah, they
if they can count them as population, then basically they can get more Democratic seats and they can get money. And they
but if you see
basically,
what's
that's how
happening,
they make their money.
but if you see what's
But the thing
happening,
is, it's
but if you
not
see
just
what's
rich
happening,
people.
and
It's
I
these
get it,
fucking liberals
and
just as bad.
you're right, because I was gonna go on the other side too, because you see that that the Republicans are reversing they mind on some of that shit because they know that those people that run these businesses need these immigrants to do the work. And so they reversing
No,
some of
now,
these policies. They not kicking a lot of these people out as much as they were
And the
because they
thing
need
is,
them
they
back in the
bring in, listen,
fields.
the Republicans is pushing for H-1B1 visa people to come here. But the thing is, these H-1B1 visas, people coming here are getting they coming here with false documentation.
Yeah, they
Basically,
are.
fake
You're right.
degrees and shit like that. So you go to the hospital and get surgery, and you got fucking Akhnai operating on you with a fucking fake degree. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Because he
yeah,
was an
I can. It ain't.
H-1B1 fucking visa, and here it is and shit. That's the doctor that they decide. So anytime one of y'all gotta get, I'm talking to my people. Anytime one of y'all gotta get surgery, man, Google your surgeon. Because I had to get surgery on my elbow. I Googled my surgeon, and basically, you know what I mean, he had a 4.7, approval rating. And one of the comments was like, he was the Michael Jordan the surgeon. So therefore, I'm saying, these H-1B1 visas. It was just I just watched a YouTube that somebody had did showing how these H-1B1 visas are coming over here with false documentation, not even knowing the fucking the specialty that they supposed to be getting hired for. And then some of them come over here and they not even doing the jobs that they were brought over here for. Like the one dude, you know what I mean? He's supposed to have a business, but here it is. He got food trucks. He's supposed to be working at a particular job. And here it is. He got food trucks and his wife name. You know, he done brought his wife over. He got food trucks in his wife name, and he ain't supposed to be working nowhere but where his H-1B1 visa is allocated to. But yet and still, he on the fucking food truck, you know what I mean, serving food and got busted.
Yeah, and I don't agree with that H-1B visa stuff because
But that's the Republicans
yeah,
pushing them,
yeah,
and Democrats just bringing over any fucking body. They don't care. You know what I mean? They could be fucking
because that's something I've been,
MS-13 or whoever.
yeah,
They don't give a fuck.
that's something I've been fighting against for a long time because I work in the tech field, and that's something that they bring over a lot to take away jobs from black people that's here in this country when it comes to all these tech jobs that they got out here that black people qualify for, so they get underpaid, or they can fill these positions with people that they underpay with these
And the messed up
H-1B
part
visas.
about it, man, you know,
Yeah.
it's a lot of FBAs that have degrees
Yep.
and skill
And can't get
sets,
a job.
but can't get jobs. And
Yep.
that's the and my thing is this: we got too many black millionaires and black billionaires. Either they married to fucking, you know, they are sleeping with the enemy, or you know what I mean, they basically got handlers telling them, yeah, stay away from your community, you know, stay out of your hood, don't do nothing for your people. Basically, you can do, you know, here's a business plan that we're gonna give you, you know what I mean, where they're gonna hire a whole bunch of, you know, them folks. So that's our problem. And then the thing is, you know what I mean, you have a whole lot of black celebrities that die, you know, like Lou Ross, for example, left his wife all these billions. And then the thing is, they had black children, and you know, the white chick, you know, the white tea chick, you know what I mean, she took all his money, you know what I mean, and didn't give the kids shit. And you know, Bill Russell died, you know what I mean, multimillionaire, you know, he was still getting a million, you know what I mean, just, you know, making appearances. And you know, basically when he died, his money went to the white, basically back to the Kobe Bryant, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like if we had loyalty to our own people and started black business and industry where we hire our people. Like I'm in Philadelphia. When I grew up around Puerto Ricans. They was a minority. And the thing is, I seen them come from nothing. And you go down North Philly today, you got business and industry, you got construction sites, you got, you know, Puerto Rican manufacturing plant, all types of shit. They didn't get that from you know, guys, you know, playing in the NBA or playing in major leagues and coming back and doing this shit for their community. They got it up from the muscle. They was hustling, and then basically they turned they hustled money into legitimate money. And that's the thing we don't do. We got to start, you know, we got to get back to, you know, doing for ourselves and say, fuck the fucking system. You know, we got to hire ourselves. We got basically, you know, look all the fucking, we got over 1,000 fucking patents. You know what I mean? We are the, you know what I mean? We are the blueprints, you know what I mean? When it comes to a culture, you know, as far as there's no other culture in the world, white, black, Hispanic, or others, that can compare to, you know what I mean, the things that we have contributed to humanity. You know what I mean? Even Africa with all its rich history, you know what I mean? It doesn't compare to the stuff that we have contributed to humanity. You know what I mean? From open heart surgery to the fucking, you know, computer to, you know, so many different things that we done, you know, contribute to society. You know, helicopters, the fucking airplane, the first fucking you know, the Wright brothers won the first inventors of the airplane. It was a black guy. And basically they put him on a wild goose chase. And by the time he got to the place where, the event was going on, you know, basically, the Wright brothers wind up and they probably stole his patents. And, we got 1,000 patents that's credited to us. So imagine all the ones that were stolen because of the fact that
We got about
we wasn't allowed to have them.
over 50,000 hours of motherfucking inventions, and they probably stole more than that. No, yeah, we got more than just 1,000.
Yeah.
50,000.
So I'm saying what we have contributed. So the thing is, we have the know-how, and we had like over 100 communities that was either destroyed, burned down, or flooded that we built from scratch. So we just gotta get back. We just gotta get back to doing for ourselves, man. That's all.
They didn't do that to them Puerto Ricans either. Shit, they didn't do that to them Puerto Ricans. They assisted and aided them Puerto Ricans. Them Puerto Ricans had some help from the government.
Yeah, but the thing
See,
is,
something that
they had their people in position in the government to help them, but most of the shit that they did it from the muscle. Because, like I said,
and that's what I'm trying.
I listen. I grew up with them. I used to hustle with them jokers. And the thing is, like when it came down to hustling, these guys would be out. They be on the strip. For months and won't buy a fucking 50-cent water. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, they like, yeah, I got 40,000 saved up. I'm gonna buy a house. Like, they was about their business. So it's a different mindset. I'm not taking
Yeah,
nothing
I
away
do
from.
call me, but at the same time, like I said, we been about our business. Hell, they do. It's just with Chinatown, when all these towns come up and they do their thing, the government don't do nothing to dismantle their progress.
No,
They actually
no.
let them do their progress. When we try to do that, they try to they like right. Okay, for example, if we had a black town right now that's just thriving out of control, it's as soon as they find out about it, the Democrat Party gonna try to send illegal immigrants over there.
That's
And they're gonna try their best to disrupt that shit. They're gonna try to send so many illegals over there. They're gonna get them so much money so they can fund the main core essentials that we need in that town. They're gonna try their fucking best. They'll get them bitches an electric company if they got to.
Yeah,
They're gonna
they
get them
doing that
wherever
shit
the
in
fuck
Atlanta because Atlanta was the black mecca. They like if like if you grew up in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, that's a place where in America where you could have grown up and basically not felt like, not felt inferior because of the fact that you've seen so many prosperous black people in all walks of life. But the thing is, they undermine that by putting them immigrants in them communities. And I hear a lot of people talking, saying that, you can't find a black business, you can't go to no business, without it being an immigrant business. And that didn't just happen under the Republican watch because the Republicans wasn't always in office. And it's the Democrats, the ones, it's the Democrat, like somebody said, they was like, if somebody break into your house, you know what I mean? Is you gonna go downstairs and you hear somebody in your house, you gonna go downstairs and fix them something to eat. That's what the fucking Democrats been doing. You know what I mean?
this shit been going on since 1965 or the 1966. 60, yeah. Nah, what was it? Yeah, 65, 66, right after the civil rights bill, they start sending these motherfuckers over here
And
and
that's why
getting our
I
benefits.
think that's why we so hated, man, because we so accomplished. And the thing is, man, everybody look to the foundation, to foundational Black Americans. You know what I mean? Because we the main characters, when it come to everything. And the thing is, what I mean, that's why, you got a lot of these African tethers, that want to tether onto our culture, what I mean, trying to hijack, Juneteenth, what I mean, trying to hijack the reparation, what I mean, basically, trying to Africanize us. And the thing is, only what 3% of the transatlantic slave trade came to America. They say it was more people shipped out of America than was actually brought into America.
Yeah, that's true.
I tell
They
everybody
went
before I
down
leave every time do their genealogy. I'm American
because
Indian
they was
myself, so I already
it was more brutal down in
And the
South
thing
America.
is, listen, my grandfather was Cherokee Indian. My great grandfather was Cherokee Indian. Well, my grandfather was Cherokee also, but my great grandfather was Cherokee Indian on my on my mom's side, on my grandfather, and then on my mom's side, my grandmother. My great grandfather was white. My great grandmother was a Muslim. She died. She was 96. She was a Muslim, but she had married a white man. So I mean, I got some little bit of Neanderthal in my DNA. I ain't proud of that shit, but the thing is, it is what it is. But
I got
the thing is,
Choctaw and
listen,
me.
my shit go back to 1700s, man, and I don't see no fucking traces of fucking Africa.
Me neither. I only seen one slave route, and it went from Alabama to New Orleans in 1832.
And then
It's
the
on the
thing is, my wife, her people is from, like, they Cherokee, and they people is from North Carolina, and my people from North Carolina. But Lawrence County and North Carolina was
So
like a big, like was a major was a major staple for Cherokee Indians.
I'm missing. I got a lot. All my people in the 1700s and was in Mississippi and Memphis. 1800s. That's what my people. That's what all of them. All them
And Mississippi got a rich history too, because
very
down
rich.
in the Delta, man, they had black towns. Some of the richest black people came out of Mississippi.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. A lot.
y'all know I'm a tether, so you know what I'm saying. I
Hey,
don't know where
you got
where my
Caribbean.
stuff come from. You know what I'm
You
saying?
got Caribbean
You ain't
background.
no tether.
No, I ain't no tether,
Listen,
man. I'm just
Oh,
playing,
no.
bro. Nah, man,
yeah.
my stuff go back. Like I think I showed you, bro. Like my stuff, like I can trace it back as far as I can go back is the 1800s to somewhere in Mississippi. Like and then I don't you remember I tell you I had a well, my great grandmother is was Indian. That's all I know. I don't know what tribe or
Yeah.
anything, but
At
that's far
one
as
point,
I could go.
all I, everybody was classified as
And
Indian
the,
at some point in
and the
time.
thing is, what people fail to
Yeah.
realize is, if
1492.
you if
Mhm.
you claim
1492.
that you was Indian, then basically you would be persecuted. It's just like speaking, your native tongue. You know what I'm saying? They had all type of apparatuses, where we wasn't allowed to speak, you know, any language but the language that they allowed us to speak.
Yeah,
And
I think. Well, no, it was an act before that, but then they did it. They ratified it and did it again in 1920. Was it 1922? Right after the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombing, because all them niggas was
yeah,
Indians too. They,
yeah,
in the bill in 1830. What was it? 1830. What was it, 1866? The Indians was the last ones to try to want to give up the slaves or whatever like that. So in
yeah. And the thing
1866,
is, because they what
hold
happened
on,
was
they told them that they were
they
supposed to, that the Negroes that was up under them and that was around their territory, they were supposed to have the same right as the Indians. But the Indians backdoored us when the $5 Indians backdoored us, and they wanted to use the blood quantum on the Native Americans, not the Aboriginals, and
yeah,
that's how they got out of it because they didn't want the Negroes to have. They didn't want us to have the same liberties
yeah,
because we supposed to have those. We supposed to have our land that we have collectively is supposed to be considered a reservation, sacred land, private fucking property type shit.
and the
We
thing
ain't
is,
supposed.
and the
Indian is
thing is,
supposed to
we
be
had we
supposed
had
to tax.
it
That's the
was
thing.
also stated that we was never supposed to sell our land. Our land was never supposed to be sold. Only unless you was an indigenous person could you buy the land. So therefore, any land that's owned on in North America is basically, illegal, behind the fact that it was never supposed to be sold in the first place. And when I was looking up my genealogy, come to find out, North Carolina Tar Heels, NC State, what is it? Not NC State, UNC, University of North Carolina. They were they had a pact with the Cherokee Indians, and wind up buying like, thousands of acres of land in North Carolina that they used for the University of North Carolina, and they never actually paid all that money back. And that was a part of where my people was from. So basically, University of North Carolina Tar Heels owe my people some bread.
You know who made the first reservations for these $5 Indians, don't you? Y'all know who did that.
Who was it? The
If y'all don't
Moors?
know, no, it was the U.S. colored troops, fam. The U.S. colored
Oh, okay.
troops. They
But
made their national park, made their first
the
reservations
Moors.
while they was up north. I know about the Moors too, but we ain't talking about the Moors. We ain't talking about 1492. Well, I know about the Moors too. They wouldn't
They was
on this.
in bed.
They
They
was
was
even
in
more.
bed with the fucking Europeans.
Them niggas wasn't right either. Them niggas
Yeah,
sold us out.
they was in bed with the Europeans because they brought them over here when they came. When they got kicked out of Europe, they was used to having white concubines and white slaves. And
Yeah,
the
they,
thing
if they
is, they
wasn't,
brought their white slaves over with them.
you gotta understand that those are their children. They the ones who taught the European. They not even Europeans, so we gotta stop doing that. They're Caucasian. The Moors
Yeah,
are the ones who taught the Caucasians. Those are their
yeah,
children.
yeah.
After 800 years when they was in Spain,
And they
eventually they
fell in love.
started mixing in with them, and those are
And they
children.
fell in love.
Those are their.
They fell. They fell in love with the motherfucking playing in the snow.
I mean, yeah, they taught these motherfuckers proper etiquette, how to read, how to write. They taught them everything. Why they got?
Yeah, and the thing is, what I mean, like a lot of people think that the Moors was,
They got the MUURS. You
these
know,
upright people, but here it
I
is,
know all about they. I
they
know
was
I
in
know
bed, they the
I know
ones that they was in bed, they was in bed with the Caucasian, selling us out.
that, that ain't what we on over here right now. We still teach you the Democratic Party shit of what's going on today. I don't think he can talk about what happened behind 1492. We gotta take baby steps with you. We gotta get you out the Democratic plantation first before you want to talk about some more shit.
Yeah, we definitely gotta get him off the plantation, but I think he getting educated today, you know. And the thing is, we all was hoodwinked at one point, and he just been hoodwinked.
Yeah, but he old enough, man. He's supposed to know better right now,
But it be
man.
listen, a water guy.
It's
It
just
be
like,
it be the older ones, man, that be kicking and scratching, man. They do not listen. Like Harriet Tubman said, she would have freed so many more slaves if they only knew they was enslaved.
yeah, I just like history, bro, and I've been, doing a lot of reading, a lot of history, studying like W.B. Du Bois, just reading a
Another
bunch of
one,
stuff, bro,
bro. All
and
that history you read and listen. Check it. All that stuff you read, you have to understand who's writing it. You see how you
Comprehension
tell
is
us? You see how you tell us? This is why you got to be listening, bro. Look, I did a lot of content. Like, bro, I need to redo it from last year. Yeah, a lot of that stuff, bro. It needs to be re-given to you in another analogy because you let them white people tell the story, and you feel like these brothers who they, put on the pedestal. You think they solid, but Steve Coakley. Do you know who Steve Coakley is?
no,
You need to listen to Steve Coakley, bro.
all
Because
right,
a
I'm gonna
lot
look
of
it up
people
because I
are
think you told
misguided,
me,
huh?
I think you said that name once before, Steve
Bro,
Coakley.
Steve
What about
Coakley.
Dr. Clyde Anderson? You ever heard about Dr. Clyde Anderson?
Yeah, I done heard of Dr. Clyde Anderson.
Okay. If you know
Yeah,
about
that
Dr.
is.
Claude
But
Anderson,
I never paid attention to it though.
Bro,
Well,
you
go back
gotta
and
listen to some of these leaders that did. He's a doctor. Dr.
Yo,
Claude.
Dr. Carl Anderson was on point, man. He basically called it. He said these immigrants is gonna come over here and they not coming over here to be your friends. He said they coming over here to eat your lunch. And that's what they doing.
and he was speaking about our most our lineage being Indian as well. Trying to
Yeah.
tell, and that's my beef, and that's my beef again. Once again, that's my beef with the motherfucking Democrats because y'all say y'all for our people, but y'all
Yeah,
won't
keep
even tell us
trying to
who our people is.
Africanize us.
I'm steady trying to put our lineage with everybody else, like we don't got our own special shit that we need to be eradicated. Simple
And
as the act, that Indian Act, like I was telling y'all about that Indian Act. If
yeah,
the Democrat Party wanted to, they could get that shit ratified, amended real quick, bro. And we would,
and
and
the
black
thing
folks be walking around this bitch not paying no taxes for shit like that and actually be getting some help from the government and all that type
and,
of shit. They could do
and you
that
know
shit
what? Now that you mentioned that, listen, know what we need to do?
to
Real
pay for
talk.
them.
What listen, know what we need to do, real talk. Let's say they do away with the 14th Amendment, then basically all of us go down and basically, you know what I mean, put in the thing to get reclassified, you know what I mean, so that therefore we tax exempt and we qualify for a whole bunch of bullshit, you know what I mean, that they giving to these $5 Indians. So,
I don't
you
think they're
know,
gonna
they
ratify.
could do away with the 14th Amendment.
Because it ain't just us. You know, it ain't just us. It's some of them white folks that's in there too. They got their rights from that shit too. It'll be. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know
the
how.
$5 Indians.
No, I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the Italians and all them motherfuckers. Everybody wasn't white when you first came here.
Yeah, but
That shit.
The Italians is immigrants.
That's why you hear the Republicans when they get to talk about the 14th Amendment, they be like, no, we ain't trying to just get rid of it all.
They ain't gonna get rid of it because you know
Because
your boy DeSantis trying to run for fucking president. His ass got over. His people ain't get over here till fucking 1919. Like
Right,
you just
right.
stopped in for a cup of
that's what
coffee,
I'm saying.
nigga. Compared
Check,
to the time we've been
They
here.
ain't gonna fuck
but check this out.
they ain't gonna fuck
He was saying
with
W.E. Du
not
Bois. Hey, do you know when W.E. Du Bois came out?
Yeah,
Like and
in
he
the
was
What
1927, something like that.
18.
Yeah, E.B. Du Bois
Well,
and shit. He was
yeah,
listen. He was
1927? You remember
compromised
being
too.
low,
He wasn't a
right?
Booker T. Washington, but he was compromised.
yeah.
Right. He was
He was a
compromised. So
boule.
look, even going to even you doing your history on that right now, you supposed to already pick up on that. You was supposed
No,
to be
Booker
like,
T was the one compromised. He was the one getting
Booker T
funded
was
by them white
compromised.
people.
So was W.B. Du Bois. W.B. Du Bois, he was a fucking boule and shit. You know what I mean? He was compromised too.
so you don't
He
feel
told
like
the black
W.E.
people,
Du
you
Bois
know what
was
he took and said? Listen, this is a direct quote from him. He said, yeah, black people need to get themselves together and stop being a burden on the white people. You know what I mean? He was a fucking, you know, he was compromised. And I ain't saying, you know, he didn't have some great, you know what I mean,
he had
contributions,
no
but the thing
battles
is
with
he
the
was
system.
compromised.
Hey, keep it techie. What battles did he have with the system? He wasn't no
He
threat
know he
to them.
wasn't going against the system. That's why, listen, what they always say, the house niggas always look better than the motherfucking field niggas. You know what I mean? That nigga went to fucking Harvard.
Yeah,
He
you
was
right.
the
He went
only
to
black motherfucker in Harvard.
So that's what I'm saying, bro. These people that you be doing your research on, if you don't have that good eye of what's going on, and you can't really, they gonna have you looking crazy out here, man. I'm telling you.
you got to be objective.
you never
You
heard of
got
Hubert Harrison? I'm reading this right now. Hubert Harrison. It's a black intellectual too. I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading too
Whatever
many
you read,
intellectuals.
no, whatever you reading, man,
they
they
don't
steering you
be
down
damn
the wrong track. You
intellectuals
need to
if
be
we
reading
school
Dr.
you on this
Claude
simple
Anderson.
shit.
You need to be
Uh,
reading.
Forbidden Genius of Black Radicalism. I don't know,
This,
bro.
this what I'm reading right now. Voices of the Ancestors got a 3-volume set.
Okay.
Pulling the books.
You or you know what I mean? You could go with Jack D. Forbes. Can you see that?
Yeah.
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 It's just certain shit you just like. You probably think Marcus Garvey was a good nigga, don't
Nah. Not at
I
all.
used to listen. I used
Not
to
at
be a
all.
big Marcus Garvey fan
Nah.
until I found out he was a
Not Marcus
tether.
Garvey. Because
I used
Marcus
to fuck
Garvey,
with Marcus Garvey, but
I used
you
to
know,
too,
like
but nah.
one of the first books I read, man, was Philosophy and Opinions, and he had some good shit in there. You know what I mean?
you?
He
Yeah.
was like,
No,
we
I'm
live in
just.
a
It's just an example.
technologically advanced society where things
It's
are
just an
done by
example.
those in control to benefit those in control. That was some
It's a
real
lot.
shit.
It's a lot of motherfuckers that we done had that look good in them spaces, but they didn't really do shit for us. They it was just
But
put.
but
It was put for the. It was. It's the same shit that right now in 2026 that the Democrats is fighting tooth and nail for, talking about voting rights and all that. They said y'all trying to take our what they said. If you can't give us reparations, at least don't take our our representation. Get your soft ass up out of here, nigga.
yeah, the
That
fuck
ain't
out of
even. That
here.
don't even sound
Like
like no shit the civil rights felt. You need
what's
to start on that
representate?
weak ass shit like that. It was
That's
representation.
just like fucking South Africa and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
they
what
did
they.
away with apartheid and shit. Y'all got political positions, but y'all ain't getting none of the economics. You know what I mean? Y'all ain't controlling none of the wealth. Your people still 40% unemployed. So what the fuck is good is representation when it ain't, when we're not being represented?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Shit, I
Yep.
mean,
And even to go deeper than that, Techie, do you know that these HBCUs is owned by white men?
Yeah.
I know they were
Fucking
created by
Spelman
white
named
men,
after
but yeah, I got you.
Rockefeller wife.
I got
yeah,
And
you.
the thing
Spelman.
is,
That was
they
her maiden
So,
last
listen,
name.
so you know
they
they didn't get
control the
burnt down.
education system in
Because
America,
I
period.
went to I went to one of the high schools on one of them. So I know.
So you know they didn't get burnt down when they was burning down like all of the black towns and stuff, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Right. So
Yeah.
this is like history that is right in your face. You already know
Oh
that,
yeah, and speaking of which, you know
certain
when they
things
took
is
the Freedmen's
suspect.
Bank, you know when they took the Freedmen's Bank and they stole all the black money and all that
Yep.
type of shit. You know Kamala Harris was trying to put her people inside of that fucking Freedmen's Bank. She was trying to get it. You know that? You ain't know that, did you?
And after they robbed it,
That's
and
why I
after
be
they
trying to
took
tell
all the
you.
money, they're going to basically hire on Frederick Douglass to try to save it.
Man, that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. They try to start a new one or whatever like that and put the Indian people in there. Put the Hindu people in it. That's what that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like you can look on the surface level and be like, oh yeah, that shit cool. But when it like a lot of these, like I said, a lot of these Democrat black people that you see on there, on the front surface, they talking about yeah reparations, blah blah blah. But when that bill come to sign and when they sign that paperwork, they check no. They gonna come to the mic and they gonna act like yeah we for this, and then as soon as it come to that piece of paper, they gonna say no, and then they gonna do the same shit. They've been doing the same shit to us for 60 years, bro. I get
No,
that the
longer than
Republicans
that,
is a shitty
because you
party
look
and
at
they
it.
ain't our friends either. We understand that, but what
But you look at what.
we
Listen,
ain't trying to keep on being insane
When
because we've been
Marcus
insane
Garvey
for
had the
too damn long.
UNIA. Listen, when Marcus Garvey had the
Hold on,
UNIA.
OG. And look, hold
Hold
on,
on,
OG.
let me say
Hold on,
something.
OG. The leader of the FBI. Hold on, OG. Damn. Hold on, let me finish this. Edgar Hoover said what it was. Edgar Hoover made it, and he stamped this shit. Both of the political parties ride this shit to this day, bro. J. Edgar
Yeah,
Hoover said the unification of the black people is the number
is the
one
biggest
threat to
threat to
national
America.
security. Always.
Mm-hmm.
So from that day forward, and what was it 1964 or 68, 68, whatever the fuck they created the
Yeah,
FBI, that has been the number one target. And every representative that we really had for us, the Black Panther Party, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all that type of shit, they all got eradicated. Like I said, the KKK still around and Democrats still fund them for
but
a reason. You
Listen,
know what I'm saying? Because like I
listen.
said, J. Edgar Hoover already set the blueprint for the both of the parties to let them know that the number one national plan is coming together. So guess what? I don't give a damn about the Republican Party or Democrat Party because apparently it's gonna be something gold when we all come together without them. We got the civil rights movement. We couldn't even vote when we
Now,
got that shit, but we got it because we
now,
fought for
Red.
that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Red. I'm
We
gonna have
freed
to.
ourselves from slavery. We didn't vote to free ourselves from slavery, nigga. We got ourselves out that shit. So the main two most important things that we didn't did for ourselves, we did that shit for by ourselves. And so we
Red, you
don't need
going
no
in and out.
illegal
You
immigrants to help us
echoing,
do it
you
now. Because the only
echoing
thing they can
fast.
do is
Gotta turn something
murky the
down.
water.
Turn your volume down or something, cause you
And I'll land my plane there.
And, Red. And I'm a. Oh,
Yeah, I had to mute him, but
and Red.
I'll let
And
my
Red. I'm gonna have to.
if
I'm
y'all
gonna have
can't hear
to.
me. My bad.
Oh, my bad.
no, you going in and out, Red.
yeah, your sound
And
was
I don't know if you.
echoing.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can hear me, Red, though, as well. But I'm gonna have to correct you on that, bro. Like that, because I had to go look it up, bro. I remember looking it up before, and I just like I told Water a while back, bro. Like I got PTSD. I can't recall stuff all the time, but I had to go look up that reparations
PTSD.
bill. I
You
had
got
to go look up that, huh?
you got PTSD.
Yeah, I was in a. I had I deployed multiple times, bro. I was in I was in the military, bro. I tell you,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
I
But I ain't
yeah,
know. I ain't
yeah,
know.
Listen,
and so
listen. Being black in
I got
America, I
memory,
think all of us got a little
I
bit of
got,
PTSD.
yeah, I
Yeah,
got
for real.
memory
You know what I
issues. I
mean?
got memory
Listen,
issues sometimes. Yeah,
listen.
and that's,
Being black in America, you should have a little bit of
yeah,
PTSD because we basically been thriving under tyrannical government. You know what I mean? Government
yeah,
sponsored terrorism.
yeah.
But my
But
thing is this:
I had
the
to go
reason
look it
why.
up. Oh, my
Salute
bad.
Listen,
Herschel.
let me make a
Let me,
point real quick. The reason why Marcus Garvey was able to have the UNIA is because of the fact that he was a Pan African, and basically his whole mission, back then was to try to get all the motherfucking black people in America, you know what I mean, to basically start to migrate back to Africa. But the
yeah,
thing is, just like all these other Pan Africans, he's EBA. He was everywhere but Africa. You know what I mean? When they deported his ass, he didn't take his ass to Africa. He went back to Jamaica. But you know what I mean? He was basically he was a classic tether. But the thing is, he was like a Umar Johnson because he talked well. He was very eloquent orator. Listen, he said some good shit, just like Umar say some good shit. But the thing is, he's a tether. You know what I mean? And a Pan African. And the thing is, as long as you disconnecting FBAs from their land, then basically the government it's going to be some money, you know, that's going to be allocated to you because that's what they want. They want to disconnect us from this land. That's why they want to always attach that African to our name. And that's why, like when I was, like I said, I was a big Marcus Garvey fan. But the thing is, I didn't realize how much of a tether he was. You know what I mean? Basically he was trying to send us back to Africa, and
Right.
the white folk was on board with that shit because of the fact that what I mean, they knew that this was our fucking land, and okay, if they're gonna go back to Africa, yeah, let's support this. how
yeah.
is
See,
it
I ain't
that
got no.
a
I,
Jamaican how is it that a Jamaican can organize 2.5 million people when black people couldn't barely walk around the fucking block? You know what I mean? We could barely go a fucking mile, you know what I mean, without,
Right.
some type of mob and shit chasing us the fuck down. You know what I
Right.
mean? Back in
Check this.
19
Let me
in
get.
1927.
most of us ain't got
Yeah.
no
Check.
ties to Africa at all. So, like,
Yeah.
Right. But
that's
listen.
Exactly.
why.
But
Oh,
check
my
this
bad.
though. Who else did you feel? I know you said W.E.B. Du Bois, right? We
Uh huh.
already told you he's not on code, not certified. Who else are you listening to that you feel like these people represent?
No, I was just saying that I was that's just somebody I was reading recently. Um, that I enjoyed his story, like Up from Slavery. Just certain books that I didn't read recently. That was just one of them. And then I'm reading this Herbert Harrison. And the reason I thought I resonated with W.B. Du Bois or whatever, because I mean, it seemed like he was, part of the movement because, I
He was
mean,
compromised. He was one of those. He was one of those whitey apologists. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Like basically,
you
with
you want
Booker
me
T.
to?
Washington, he was the ultimate. Listen, he was the ultimate. Booker T. Washington was the ultimate Uncle Tom. Booker T. Washington said, "When white people ready to give you your freedom, they will give it to you. But in the meantime, anytime you want to get something done, you just ask a white man, hold his hand, and let him show you how to do it." You know what I'm saying? He was just on some real bootlicking coon shit. And the thing is, he got some, and the reason why he was so rich and was so prosperous is because he was so fucking compromising. He was a knee licking, elbow sucking Sambo.
Yeah, and I actually
And the
said the
thing
wrong,
is, I have no reverence for. I look at him like
and
a
I actually got
fucking Jesse Jackson.
and I
I
think I got
have
the
no reverence. I have no reverence for him or Jesse Jackson.
and I think I got the book wrong. The Up from Slavery. I think that's Booker T. Washington book. Uh, what is it? W. Du Bois. Because I read it last month. What the soul of the black man? Is it the soul of black people?
And I'm gonna
I
tell you,
think that's
this
the
how I
name of the
know
book
that.
I read.
This how I know they was all compromised. Because when
But
I was in college,
yeah,
we had listen. I had an advanced course where I had English 101 combined with History 245. I had
and I'm
a,
waiting
a
for the
I had two Irish. I had two professors. One was Irish. One was Jewish. And basically, we had to write an essay on which black historical figure had the best plan for black people to get out of the condition that they were in. And I said, basically, I'm gonna go with, Marcus Garvey. You know what I'm saying? This was like, 1998 when I was in college. And the thing is, right? They told me you can only pick from these five. It was W.E.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington, and like three other coons. Like, you know what I mean? So basically, I was like, man, I can't pick from these guys because they all compromised.
yeah.
Right, but that
I'm trying
but
to.
that W.E.B. Du Bois was repping that Greek stuff. Like how didn't you put that together?
Well, what Greek stuff you talking about?
That was the that was the head man that really was
Started the fraternities and all that
Oh, the
shit.
fraternities?
black, yeah,
Yeah, like the Greek fraternities.
the
Okay.
black
But
Greek
yeah,
fraternity.
No, I
yeah.
thought people had an issue with W. Du Bois because he was associated with the NAACP. That's what a lot of
Well,
people
the
had issues with.
NAACP, you know who started the NAACP was the
Well, he was
small
on
head.
the board. Well, yeah, he was on the board, but W. Du Bois was on the board of NAACP,
That he
and
was on the listen.
Right.
They
He was on
and
the
he
listen.
board
They
of
don't
the
but he was
WEF.
listen.
he was
They
writing the crisis. Did you hear
listen.
about? Do you remember about the
They pick.
crisis?
It's like a picnic. They pick a nigga, and he was just a pick a nigga, and that's
Right.
why
That's
he
what I'm
was. That's why
saying.
he
How
was
you
on the
don't
board
see
because he was
that?
a pick a nigga.
Right. That's what we trying to say. Like what you seen on the NAACP that he was in the Greeks.
But did you
What
read any of his
The
writings?
NAACP is
Like the
NAACP
stuff from the
is a small hat organization. They don't represent us, just like the CBC don't represent us.
but
And the
he
thing
had
is, once once your eyes become open, fam, you know what I'm saying, you'll realize that you've been being hoodwinked. And the thing is, that book that you read and put that put that
so you
down.
saying that all of his writings were influenced by
No, I'm just
small
saying
hats?
he was
He was
compromised. He was
he was
indoctrinated.
yeah,
he was speaking to
yeah.
black folks.
He was
And
indoctrinated. Listen,
okay,
A
All right.
broke
Shout out
clock
to
is
Racehead.
listen. A broke clock is right at least 2 times a day.
Okay.
You
Well,
know what
I'm
I'm
reading.
saying?
I'm reading.
I
I'm
don't like
reading.
Dr. Umar, but he be saying some good
I'm
shit every
reading.
now and
Well, I'm reading the right part of the clock.
Shout out to
then. Nigga
Racehead. He put the founding member of a New York City chapter, W.E. Du Bois, said that Boule was created to keep the black professionals away from ranks of Marcus Garvey.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, the boule was put in place to keep the
Yeah. He
blacks
didn't like. He
from
didn't like.
aspiring to any position that the white people didn't want them to have. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't like
Basically,
Marcus
keep
Garvey.
black people in
He-
a certain. That's it's just like when Malcolm X said, anytime a white person says something, and the white people want to validate it, they'll go get a Negro, what I mean, somebody that's compromised, the co-sign on it. You know what I mean? They go and get that Negro, that one Negro and shit that's going to co-sign for them. And that's all the boule is. You know what I mean? They gatekeepers for establishment because they make them a plate. You know what I'm saying?
They
The
never
the Roman
battle.
Martin.
He's looking
They
right.
make a
Techie
plate for them.
looking, yeah, Techie looking like they ain't like nah, bro. They never battled with them people. If you go to all our battles that we were battling with them people, you ain't never seen no boule or anything
Oh,
battling
he.
with
And
them
not
people like the Panther Party, like all of them people where they
Well,
had the
yeah. He wasn't. He wasn't battling with them, but he was down there when they was lynching people down in Atlanta when during the because I remember this part of it when part of his story when I think they had like I don't know if it was it wasn't a red summer. It was when they when it was like
bloody summer.
some racist some rape rumors were going around where and they started just killing a whole bunch of black people down in Atlanta. Uh and then also in Illinois. He was down there advocating against that stuff, and he went up
You had
to the
red
Senate.
summer
He
and
was
you had
speaking.
bloody summer.
Yeah, he
It
was
was
speaking
one
about
was in Chicago.
yeah. In Illinois, he
Yeah,
was advocating against that stuff then. So that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, okay, I mean, I get it, bro. I mean, maybe some stuff he didn't speak on, and maybe, but I don't know. Everybody ain't
listen,
perfect.
I'm gonna give you a perfect example of how the Boulets move. They move the way white man want them to move, the way Whitey want them to move.
Well, I ain't
Now,
supporting no boule.
listen,
I don't fuck with the
listen.
boule. I don't fuck with no
All right,
groups like
but
that. You know.
listen to the point I'm trying to make. The point
Yo,
is that remember when the FBAs had a rally for reparations,
yeah,
in Washington D.C. Tariq Nasheed
yeah, I
had
remember.
a whole bunch of FBA people, Mayat, Vicky Dillard, it's a whole lot of people that spoke there, and basically you didn't see one Democratic shield there. Roland Martin wasn't there. You didn't see what's his name, Ben Chunk. You didn't see none of them Democratic shills, none of them. But the minute that they said they're going to give reparations, the minute that Ghana went and to the United Nations and fought for reparations, you seen all these Democrats there, right? Because guess what? Long as the money ain't coming to foundational Black Americans, they cool with it. They don't want us to have shit because they're afraid of us.
Mm, that's gonna get
You
them
didn't see
upset.
one.
Don't say that. Hold on now.
I
That's
don't, I
going.
don't,
He
I don't
don't
know,
like
but I don't
that.
know, bro. Nah, I don't know, man. I don't know, cause
Listen,
and that's what
man.
I was finna bring up. Well, this is what I was finna. This goes back to what I was gonna bring up earlier, cause I was finna tell Red, cause he said he had brought up the reparations bill, saying that not everybody voted for it on the Democratic side. They never had a vote for it. It actually got sidestepped and referred to the judiciary. I had to go look it up because I couldn't remember what happened. They never voted on it, but everybody on the Democratic side co-sponsored it. So 130 people co-sponsored this actual bill for reparations.
That was a bill. You talking about
It was the
the
study,
HR 40
yeah, but that
bill?
was
It's a
supposed to be,
study.
yeah, the HR
Yeah,
40.
they co-signed it on the study.
And
You know what I'm saying?
we
But the
on
thing
that.
is, like I said,
We on that, fam.
But
saying
I was just
Al
saying that
Sharpton,
nobody, yeah, that
you
that they
you
didn't
saying
vote on it. That's all I was saying.
you saying Al Sharpton, Ben Crump, Zorhan Mandami, all
Yeah.
these Democrats, you know what I mean, showing out for the Ghanaians, but not one of them showed up to the rally for reparations for FBA.
Yeah,
Not
you
one.
right. You right. And I agree, bro. Like they be on some some punk stuff. A lot of them people be on some punk stuff, and that's why a lot of them need to be voted out, and we need to get some. Well, whatever. I
Listen,
know y'all don't
they
care about that shit
listen,
regardless, but the
listen.
people that's
All
gonna
they care,
vote,
How about that
all
we
money?
they
need to get
listen,
some
all
people
they
that's in there that's gonna fight. You know what I'm saying?
listen, all they
Not no
care.
hoes. That's the way I
They
see
don't
it.
they don't care about anti-black racism because, like I said, these people never showed out. They never, had no type of rally. You
It's
know
a
what I
lot of them
mean?
people.
When
It's a
things
lot of
was
them
being
people
done, the
compromised,
foundation.
bro. A lot of them people
But we
compromised,
ain't
bro, with
talking
their.
about a lot of people. We talking about the Democrats.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. A lot of them Democrats are compromised from all that tech money, the Jewish people and all them packs and stuff. They all compromised, bro. And so I get it. I get it. I get the frustration with a lot of. That's why I ain't got no problem talking crap about them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not nobody that just go along with everything the Democratic Party do because a lot of
But
them be on
what
some
I'm
bullshit.
But
And
the
then
point is,
they
we
on some
trying to make. The point
yeah.
we trying to make to you is that the Democrats is ops, and everything that they're advocating, everything that they're everything that they stand for is in opposition of what is beneficial to us. That's basically what we're trying to convey to you. And the thing is, until you see that, then basically you're gonna be a part of the problem because you're gonna go out there as an independent and you're gonna vote for these jokers. And the thing is, they're not voting for you. They don't see a black hate crime bill as a priority. They don't see reparations as a priority. You don't see them. Listen,
Even for that bill you brought up, you was like, yo, man, Obama dropped the time for people who were doing a whole bunch of time for crack cocaine and white people. That deserves cash reparations. These
exactly.
stuff deserve money. And you just
Yeah,
saying like, okay, we supposed to be like, oh, we're happy with that. Yeah, you fixed it, but it's payments that
what
comes
about
with that.
reparations? Exactly.
Just
And the
like when
thing
those
is,
guys in
and
J6.
the three strike bill where somebody, what I mean, because they had two strikes against them and they went in and stole a hamburger, now and shit, what I mean, they in jail for life. But what I mean, these jokers out here raping, with double rapes, raping, multiple women and getting probation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, we are gonna focus on the local, and but all of that,
Oh yeah, the local stuff is definitely because and that was yeah, that's definitely something else I was gonna bring up because I actually because I was gonna bring this up to you, Water, when we talked. Like I actually work with my local representative. And it ain't like on some money shit. It's like
it is. You work
you
for them. What
can
you talking about? Don't
no,
downplay
I
that.
don't work with them like that. What I'm saying is that you can everybody has a representative in your district. Everybody has a website. If you want to contact your representative to get them to do something for you, to
So
get
what
them to
is your
put money into something, to
so
get them
is your
to
local?
push
Listen,
something
is
for
your
you,
local? Listen, is your local that you connected with? Are they a Democrat?
yeah. But it's
Okay.
to but it don't matter who it is. It don't matter who it is. It just that's just who it is.
He pulling back the layers, fam.
It do matter who it is
For
because you're
my
locally.
my my one vote is not gonna make it be a Democrat. It's the whole district. If my
A water,
district was
but
red, if my district was red, my one vote is not gonna make it a Democrat all of a sudden. So what are you saying?
a water. What did Tupac say? He said, "You too near me not to
So
hear me." How
anyway,
you working
what
with
I'm
them and you
saying
don't know what
is,
they advocating?
but anyway, what I'm saying is, if it was a Republican, it don't matter. I was gonna contact them and say we need money to get more black people into the tech field, regardless of whoever the hell it is. They need programs put out
What they
here
got to do
in
with
order
politics?
to get. That's politics. That is what politics is. Talking to your representative to get them to do things in your community. That
But
is
you
But
what
can do that.
politics actually is.
but
That's
let
what
you
local
just
politics is.
just like reparations, right? Language is everything. Now, when you first came on, you was like minority. So when you was talking to your representative, you say, "Yeah, we need more
Black.
tech jobs for
I said
minorities."
black.
Right. Exactly.
Language is everything.
Okay. I
Exactly.
was saying minority when I was talking about a bill that was in a federal contract bill. What are you talking about? I didn't say
But I'm
minority
saying if
just to
you
say
using that,
minority.
but I'm saying if you're using that language with us, who's to say you're not using that language with your representative?
Because that's what it says on when you go fill out an application for a job, it says minority on it. That's why I
So
use
you're
that
working.
language.
I never seen a
So
minority
you,
on no job application. I
so you
seen
filled
black,
out a
white.
job application for them.
What?
You filled out a job application?
All right, here we go. Now y'all finna
I'm just
no,
asking,
bro.
bro. No, I'm just saying because you said application. What kind of work are you doing for
Let me ask you, what a guy. Did you ever see a job application with minority on it?
them? I haven't filled out many, so I'm not the one. I wouldn't say that it's not, but I never seen that. I never seen,
But you
I
get what I'm
never seen
saying, bro.
minority. What?
Minority when they all right, whatever, bro. I'm talking about like the minority positions that they put those contracts out on. That's all I'm saying, bro.
That
It's
sound like some black and brown shit. Look, what he's
it
saying is,
is,
it sound like they're finesse. That's the finesse that we
Yeah.
talking about. That's why we delineate.
but
And
I'm not.
you
No,
don't
I'm
even
talking.
understand what you involved in. We just asking you these questions and it's just coming out. And you like, no,
No,
Yeah.
I'm
I
serious.
said black.
Huh?
I said black.
You said black.
Yes, I told you what
Right.
I said.
Right. But do you know the Democrats be talking about black and brown? Do you
So
have a
that means
problem with
basically
that?
everybody but black.
Do you have a problem with that?
I know my representative know what I was talking about though.
How? If your representative is
Not
a Democrat and she refers to all black and brown people and they're
you
giving
remember?
resources to brown people in the name of a black person, do you care about that?
Listen, hey, water guy. You
I
remember
don't
when
I
Kamala
don't
Harris?
see.
Listen,
Oh, go ahead.
you remember when Kamala Harris had did a she had a photo op and she was like, basically, we're gonna bring more minority contracts to the government, right? And it was like 15 people in the picture. All of them looked at like they was white. They was all, light skinned. And she said, basically, we're going to bring more minority contracts. It wasn't one black person in that picture. And that's their idea of minority. It's everybody but black.
I get
And
what you're
that's
saying.
why, listen, that's why we have to be on code. And the thing is, language is everything. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but
We have
he's
to be
supposed to
specific.
know this. I'm
Yeah.
saying
I get what you're
OG
saying.
giving him up. No. We saying this and we highlighting this is very important. But I'm saying, does that even bother you? Because you saying black and you
Yes, yes, it does bother me, and the reason I say that because that's all I've ever been pushing. Like if you go on my you can go on my channel, bro.
So are
Like
you pushing
I've
for immigrants or not?
no, I'm pushing for specifically black people. Now I have interviewed like Mexican people on my channel, but majority of the people I've interviewed on my channel for tech jobs,
Right. I'm not even listen. I'm saying that as far as what the Democrats are doing, we talking about on your job, but I'm saying the Democrats are doing. You should be pissed at that. You don't seem angry. You don't seem like somebody that feel like they've been wrong or their people have been wrong by this party. You don't
And
have
then
that mindset, and we're highlighting this stuff
because
because
I never really looked at it like that. I get what you're saying. I mean, I just never really looked at it like that because I don't know. And then
you
maybe
being
it's
all
and
the
maybe
damn
it's
hey,
job.
because no. Let me explain it to you. Let me explain to you. I think I
you
look
being
at it
hustling,
differently.
man.
I think I look at it differently because in the military, um, um, black and brown, we kind of stuck together. You know,
What?
we
Bro,
kind of
cut
stuck
all that.
together.
Listen, all that Pan African stuff, bro. That's what
No,
you
I'm
on.
not saying I'm
Who
not
sticks
saying no
together?
Pan African stuff. I'm saying
Who
like
sticks together? What? We don't have no friends. We don't have no allies.
I get that. I
Show
get
you
that. But
stats
what
of
I'm
what
saying
what
is
people have
I
said.
never looked at them as an issue, like talking about like whatever, man. Like
They looked
I'm
at
not
you as
even
the
thinking
issue.
about them.
One of
I'm
their
not even
leaders
thinking
said
about
they're
them.
not fighting Negro
You see
battles.
what I'm saying? I never even
Okay.
I don't even think about them. You see what I'm saying? Like it's not even a thought that pops up in my head when I'm but when I'm talking about I get what you're
because
saying. It's
Now you
just
got
because you're not
yeah.
thinking about them.
I'm
Basically,
I'm
some,
I'm
listen,
I'm forgetting about it
inadvertent.
being an issue.
Listen to me. Let me
Yeah, I
say
get what you're
something.
saying.
Listen, because you're not thinking about them, inadvertently you're advocating for them. Because
Yeah,
if you're not your language is not
yeah,
specific. You know what I mean? If you're saying black people, you got all types of Africans, you got black Cubans, you
yeah.
got black, South Americans. But the thing is, if you're not advocating for FBAs, then basically you're subconsciously advocating
Advocating for
for
all
the
of them.
enemy,
Yeah, I got you.
basically the opposition.
I
Because
got
if
you.
listen, anybody that's not foundational Black American, you know what I mean, are we are not advocating for it because they have too many advocates. You have immigrant policies, you have immigrant
Yeah,
politicians, that's advocating for these illegals. So therefore, not just illegals, but immigrants, period. And the thing is, you know what I mean, as an FBA, you got to be on code and realize that your language is everything. And
yeah.
the thing
It's
is,
like that.
when you're speaking about issues, you got to be specific about the fact that you're advocating for a certain lineage of people,
Yeah,
which
it's
is
like that.
FBA.
It's like that song by BG. I don't give a fuck about you. I gotta get me. I get what you saying though.
But
I know
the
what you're
thing
saying,
is,
bro. I know what you're saying,
listen,
bro.
when you're aware of what's going on, not only are you going to understand, but you're going to be pissed off. Like
No,
what a
He
guy
ain't
was
finished.
asking you. You know what I mean? You should be pissed off because you got basically immigrants marching on the Benjamin, what is it, the Pettus Bridge in Alabama, basically trying to reenact, you know,
yeah, I
uh,
seen that
a
bullshit.
portion of history that basically, our people shedded our blood, sweat, and tears for, you know what I mean, in the civil rights struggle. And the thing is, these same people that was on the bridge are the same people that say me no black, you know what I mean, me Somalian,
Yeah,
you know what I mean, me no black. And these the same people that was basically, gatekeeping the jobs in Minnesota, gatekeeping, the businesses. It was over $1 billion that they basically stole from the state of Minnesota. How much of those $1 billion, you know what I mean, was, you know, basically, deprived from foundational Black Americans in Minnesota that because they was because it was given into this other community. So
Yeah.
when
Well,
it's not just what I mean to be against it. You should be upset, what I mean, because they're using our historical struggle, basically trying to advocate for everybody but us. And
Yeah.
this is the Democrat people doing this.
And see another reason I ain't think about it like that because he black too. So I kind of assume he knew
All
what I
skinfolk
was
and
saying.
kinfolk,
Now,
fam.
and you're right. You're right. You're 100% right. But I didn't think about it
you
as well
green
because
right
of that
now.
reason.
You
Huh?
bro, you real green right now. In
Nah,
this.
I'm not green, man. It's just I'm just trying. I was thinking about just helping black people. I'm not from this city.
You know what it is, boy?
I
The
live
guy,
in
he buck naked, man. It's like the
no,
more
I
he
live
talking and shit, the clothes just
I'm
falling
not from
off.
this city. I'm
He
not from
being
this city.
exposed.
I'm not from this city. And so I don't have like connections like
What
if I
city is
was
that?
back home. Oh,
Oh,
I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. But
okay.
I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Okay, you from the south. All right. So that's what
But
I'm saying, bro. You from the south.
if I was
Good,
down
though.
there, if I was down there, I got like a whole bunch of connections, like that's what I meant by my people the other day when I was talking crap, when I was just playing. I was talking about like I mean, I think you'd have played videos of like Garrett Chambers. He grew up in my neighborhood. He down there fighting for black people down there. Um, you
But
know,
it's a whole lot of foul shit going on in
um,
Louisiana. And Louisiana is the state that's trying to make it illegal to be homeless. Basically trying
yeah,
to fill up them prison seats, them prison beds. You know what I'm saying?
but I'm not down there to actually do anything, and I ain't been living down there in
But I
years.
don't live in
So
Louisiana. I'm in Philadelphia and shit. And I
yeah,
keep my ear to the ground.
and
Not
so
just in,
and that's
in America, but I'm saying globally.
and
You know
that's
what I'm
another
saying?
yeah, and that's
I
another
don't
reason I
care.
say
I don't,
that's another reason I say like the Mexican stuff. I didn't think about the Mexicans because out here in Vegas, they were like, it ain't as many black people. I mean, it's black people out here, but not that many in the military, like talking about where is the Mexicans were the closest thing to, other black people. You see what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, but well,
but I get what you're saying, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah,
but
man. It's a lot of layers we gotta peel back. But yeah, like you said, it's
Yeah,
looking like the Democrats, even if they local or even if they state, they still have that same mentality of control, recruit, bring more people in. You get what I'm saying?
they
So
look
yeah,
out for their own.
yeah, look out for they people. It's gang. It's not. This is
Yeah,
yeah,
shoot, bro. This ain't. It's sharks out here. This ain't no
yeah.
money. It's real big money out here. This is like streets, and,
yeah.
and we're trying to tell you it's like that. It's a lot of money behind this. We
And the
can't
thing
just
is, man, we like basically, you know what I'm saying? It's like bottom of the ninth, fam. We don't have
Yeah.
no room for error. You know what I'm saying? Because if the Democrats get back in control, it's over for us. You know what I'm saying? It's over for us.
he don't want.
You know,
He don't even know that. Right? He don't understand that right now. But you gotta like listen up to Steve Coakley, man. How you need to look up to him. I'm gonna probably do some episodes on him. But
All right.
that's the guy,
I pulled
Stephen
it up.
Darby. Stephen Darby, you know, yeah, some of our greats that was really exposing this stuff. But
Stokely Carmichael Longow.
it, it's a lot of guys that was exposing. But man, this was a good show,
Kwame
man. We went back
Ture.
to
Yeah.
wrestling. This was good, man. You was,
Yeah.
getting on both sides, but it's a
Yeah,
lot of people around. It's a lot of.
you ain't gonna put me on the big screen, huh? This time.
I mean,
I was like, man, he got me, man. It's all good, bro. I ain't tripping about that stuff.
hey, man, it's a learning
All
lesson,
good.
man. We want
Yeah.
to listen for
Yeah.
real.
And the
I
thing
want
is, man, each one teach one, man. It's all in
Yeah,
love.
Iron
But
that's why.
sharpens iron. That's why,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's why,
Iron
bro.
sharpens-
Even when you were saying all that, I'm like, no, because man, it's people out here watching this, and we need to make sure
Yeah.
understand me rather than just trying to think we out here with this rah rah. No, we
And
really
we
got
ain't playing. And it
yeah,
ain't no game. You know what I'm saying? This ain't
yeah.
no game. We ain't
I
doing
got
this for fun. Like
nah,
this
I
is
got
real
you
shit.
for real,
You know they coming for our food, man.
for
Already,
real,
man.
for real. But man,
Well,
I
nah, good talking
appreciate
to you though,
y'all,
bro.
man. For
Yeah,
real,
no
each one
problem.
teach one. Aaron, bro, I
Yeah.
appreciate you
To the
always
guy,
tapping in and
mad love.
support.
All right, y'all
Yeah,
have a
for
good
real.
one.
We gonna
Peace,
be on
peace.
here. Y'all know how we do, but I appreciate everybody who tapped in. Herschel Reed, y'all rule, Race Head, man, my guy. Uh Dark Gable, man, appreciate you. Everybody who been tapped into the show, man, we appreciate y'all for holding it down. I know y'all was a little frustrated, but
No,
hey,
until the next time.
stay saver. Yeah. Yeah, man. Till the next time, man. Peace and love to y'all, man. We gonna catch y'all on the next one. Salute,
FBA
salute.
business.
All
FBA
day.
standing on business. One.
Always one, man.